Yeah.
I got my washing
Okay.
machine going in the background.
Oh, do you? Yeah, I just had my TV turned off. Hello, men. Hello, MGTOWs. I'm sorry. I totally got entranced in what I was doing. So I forgot. I'm sorry. I owe everybody an apology for this. I was supposed to start at 3 o'clock. I scheduled it today and I didn't know what time I wanted to schedule it. And I started working on a video as soon as I got home. And it's one of those videos with a lot of visual effects. And I was trying to get input from my son, which I cannot get no input from. And all of a sudden, I looked up and I was like, "Oh shoot, I forgot to do." But that's what happens when you get old. Yeah. So I can't even remember the topic for today, but that's okay because we'll just wing MGTOW around for a while. Hey, I got Messenger, and hey, Messenger, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, Joe. I've got
You're,
to say that's very unprofessional of you to be so late. It's not
I
like me to be late, is it?
no, no.
Or not show up.
Yeah, we just get busy sometimes, and that's life, it's hard, I was up, I did like a bunch of runs and back and forth, and then there was like that's when it gets crazy when you start doing the back and forth stuff, and I'm here, I'm there, I got to go get this, I got to go do that, I got to go, and then I remember, oh shoot, I got to go get some sandwiches for dinner, and then I go get that, and I end up buying chicken and stuff, and
Yeah.
and then I sat down and I seen an idea for a video. I don't know how to come out. It might be one of those videos I end up in my scrap collection, but it seems okay. So I started working on it, and that's it. That's what I was doing. So that's it. Been an interesting week in Mgtow, hasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if people are too worried about infighting. I think there's an assumption there that every single man should get on, and the bigger this virtual community gets, the less likely that's going to be. I mean, there's always been disagreements. Some of them can be worked out, and we used to be really good at that. We used to sit down and really thrash it out and have these debates, and that's what we did. It was normally Shining said everybody who's involved has to come and speak, and we did. And for a while, it sorted things out. But if that disagreement is too vast, or the differences between two men are too vast, it's almost like trying to push two opposite magnets together.
Yeah,
You're trying to force something together that's just not going to happen. There's going to be no connection there. So there's a call for cohesion, and understanding among men. And I don't think we're too strong-willed, aren't we? We're all, we're all leaders in a way. We're all leaders of ourselves. And if people start trying to impose opinions, or sort of say that we need to move as one unit, it's the old herding cats thing, isn't it?
yeah. That's not going to really happen until we have an organization. You have to have that organization behind things, which
Yeah,
which you put a bunch of men in charge, and in MGTOW I can see like maybe a committee that says this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, and everybody, it's a suggestion. But as for putting like men that are diametrically opposed on idealism,
yeah, it's not going to work, is it? I
uh,
mean, there's going to be sort of segregation there, and sort of factioning off. But we all had that idea, didn't we? I certainly did, especially when Mayor started the outreach project, and I thought
yeah,
this is, men coming together for a common cause, and that's like the common ground, like no man's land, or something an interest we've all got in common, and that'll bring men together. But um, as far as us all, moving like a well-oiled machine, it's not really, it's not going to happen, is it?
it's not going to happen until someone steps up, and in the conditions like that, you need a supervisor, a boss, or someone say this is what we're going to do, but that's not likely. It's just not. You're not going to do that with inside of Mgtow here. And man, I wish I could remember why I had scheduled this, because I was really upset about something this morning, and I wanted to talk about it. Then I went to one thing, and then I moved again to another thing, and then I got information overload is what I think happened.
Let's retrace your steps then, Joe. Where were you this morning? Put yourself back in that place and see if you can jog it.
Yeah.
You
Well, I
need to
had
get it off your chest.
yeah. I think I started out with the guy that said that I'm not a Mgtow because I'm not gay.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't fit into his criteria,
I didn't
right?
fit his criteria of the gay Mgtow thing, and he was rather irritating, and he got me a little lit up about that. It's like what? Why? He put that meme up there of the guy in the dress, and he said, we just need to respect that." But we both know what that is. That's a guy in a plastic bag with Mgtow pasted on it with lipstick on. It's a pig with lipstick on, isn't it? Ooh, I just lost Messenger. Oh, there he is back again. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they were just dressing up this guy in this horrible little dress suit and saying this is what Mgtow is, and that was, I can't remember who that girl was what that was interviewing him,
Well,
and they
that was the whole point, wasn't it? If someone wants to speak on behalf of men going their own way, it doesn't bode well for the movement if it's a man in a fucking dress.
yeah, yeah, that it may bring it a little the gay crowd, but that's only 4% of society, and we're shooting for 50% of men.
Yeah, I mean,
Men don't
I
relate to
always
that stuff.
said, I always said, I've been accused of being a homophobe, and I speak, I don't sugarcoat anything, I just speak my mind. But, um, I always sort of said when it comes to things like that, you know, it's 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 like a lifestyle choice, um, and it's not really a byproduct of gynocentrism. So I always said, the gay and the trans men can be in support of the main group, but don't be surprised if they don't feel like they are fully accepted, simply because they wear dresses and they cross dress on videos and stuff like that, and then you think, that this is just not representative of, that's representative of yourself, and then speak about those issues. But talking about men going their own way and dressing up as a cheerleader, it's a
Yeah,
bit.
that's taking it too far. That doesn't represent MGTOW in a very. I
No.
always thought MGTOW was a bunch of respectable men that removed themselves from the dating scene, the marriage scene, and all that. Got on with their life, and are actually doing pretty good right now. Uh, and to say we're all like that, or we're all like that, that college young boy, or that's what they want people to think. That's a destructive meme. And
It's an interesting topic. I mean, what do you think the outside's perception of MGTOW is? If they could envisage a typical MGTOW man, what do you think the outsiders would perceive us to be like?
I asked my son that very question today, and
Yeah.
he says when he first started looking at it, he says I typically what the the media and the press was giving him from that surface value look. He says he thought it was gay men.
Yeah, that's immediate, because they immediately jump to, what do they do for sex if they aren't having relationships?
Right. Yeah. If you're not doing that with women, you must be doing it with men. They never consider the asexual.
But now look at the people who make that assertion. if you're a married man and you say, well, if he's not living or in a relationship with a woman, then he must be fucking men. A married man could possibly be fucking his own wife once or twice a year.
Yeah.
Before my relationship broke down with my daughter's mum, we'd had sex 5 times in the second year. In the second year before we split up, we were together like seven years. But in the 6th year, we had sex 5 times. In the 7th year, no sex, none. So, you know, I didn't fucking turn gay then. I just didn't have sex. So for people to assume that if you're not having sex, you must be fucking men.
Yeah, that's a huge tell. These are the guys that go to prison and rape boys, you know. Uh,
Well,
the,
if they need sex that desperately and they're not getting it from women, they're going to have to get it somewhere. So they
yeah,
probably, I don't know, but we just sort of say, okay, let's overcome
let's
this.
overcome the urge. Let's get
Yeah,
control of ourselves. Perfect control. That's what Mgtow is about. That's the part where they tell on themselves they're not Mgtow. They will never understand what having total control over yourself is like, because they don't have control over themselves. It's either one or the other, and it could never be anything else.
now didn't Top Dollar just make a good video?
Oh, that was a great video.
He's really thinking about the mindset and how you know, if people don't get it, I mean, we look to decode or we look to understand how people think, and I think this is how I perceive the message to be, and this is what I got from it. I thought that we induce cognitive dissonance in others when they look at us and we speak how we speak. They just don't understand, which is why they cast these aspersions. They say, "Oh, you're gay," or you know, you're socially awkward, or you're a recluse, or you're just a TFL. You know, and they throw all these insults at us because they really can't understand how a man would enjoy his own company and prefer his own company to sitting in a room, you know,
Yeah,
with
with getting
that,
yeah, getting yelled at, or having to take abuse. Uh,
yeah,
it, it always there's this thing in my head that when I see it, it's so obvious to me, but they don't see it, and that means there's some delusion there, isn't there?
yeah,
Or
yeah. Like the brainwashed masses, isn't it? It's like they've never looked um, inside for anything. So if you don't fit in with everything they've accepted to be normal, then you're not normal, and they
yeah,
just cannot accept it. They just cannot accept it so much that that it repulses them, and they have to reject it and ridicule it, um, because you know that's how you're gonna conform. If we can't shame you into conforming, we're gonna ridicule you into it and make you feel
right,
like you you're, you're being stupid. You know, you're being
yeah.
silly. Come and be like us again.
Yeah, I liked your comment on there. You said you think you're being clever. He thought he was being clever, and but he was just telling on himself. Uh, there's another thing that really, really bothers me about this, and I talk about this once in a time. Once you get into this this area where you're not thinking about sex, is not in your life. There's man nor woman nor nothing nor dog nor ape nor porn nor none of that stuff. Uh, when you see it in public, and people and I'll go to the shooter, the shooter in Orlando here. What happens when I see these things in public, these displays of sexuality, when people are groping each other in front of a restaurant and everything? I feel sexually harassed. I feel like, but if you say that you were sexually harassed in the same way that a female in an office was sexually harassed, in the same way that anybody else would be sexually harassed, people they just go right over it.
Do you know what I see when I see these public displays of you could call it affection, but so, you know, when they go over the top, I just see weak people who are exposing their weaknesses. They're saying this is how I can be exploited because I really need this, and they lose touch with reality, and they don't think straight for that. I always thought it was like temporary insanity when people think with their dick,
Yeah.
and a woman is not overawed by a man's advances. She's just thinking, yep, yep, I'm the one who's in control now. How much can I get out of this transaction? And a
Yeah.
man's just thinking, I just want to get laid. My balls are full and I need to empty them. And that's all the man's thinking. His brain goes soft and his dick goes hard. And I just see it as a real weakness in a man.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When they get overstimulated in the wrong places. I just had an example of this, and I went into a Walgreens. I don't know if you guys got Walgreens there, and it's a drugstore, and where you get toothbrush and you get your prescriptions filled and everything. And I was looking for a toothbrush, and my brother was sitting in the car, and his wife came in with me. And I'm standing there, and she needed a toothbrush, and we had just moved, so we threw away all our stuff, and I was looking for an electric toothbrush, so I picked one up, and a couple came in right next to me, and automatically he grabs one that looks like a phallic symbol, and he starts poking at her, and he looks over at me like I thought it was supposed to be funny, and he's making lewd sexual gestures to her, and she's giggling and she's laughing, and they think they're just the funniest thing in the whole world. And my brother's wife knows how I am, and I said, what the fuck? And because I was offended at that point, but they didn't see my humanity. There's no way they could have seen that I feel that was sexual harassment. uh, and she started laughing. She was like, Joe got all upset, and it's like, and I says, I had a right to get all upset. They were making a display in public of sexuality. They couldn't figure out that was wrong.
Yeah.
That's our whole society now. They're over the top. I have to go down the street. I have to look at billboards. I have to look at magazines. Stuff gets sent to me on this stuff, and I do get offended from it. But they don't consider me as a human.
You know how I look at it? When I see anything of that nature now, I'm glad that it doesn't affect me.
Yeah.
You get that immediate reaction that you can't control because that thing has entered the realm of your senses. So once you see it, and you'll never get rid of that immediate reaction. But it's the way we deal with it. We rationalize rather than getting carried away with basic instincts. But when I see these things now, I just think I'm glad that doesn't have the same effect on me that it has on him.
On him, yeah. Know what that is.
My friends will break their fucking neck. If there's a woman walking past with a short skirt on, that they will hang out the side of a van and scream. Like, if the van wasn't moving, they'd probably fucking rape her. And I look at them and I think, wow, calm down, just calm down. And they look at me and they say, did you see that? Did you fuck that? And it's really aggressive and primordial. And I look at them and I think, fuck.
They really can't.
Of control. She's just cast a spell on you, and you can't control yourself.
Yeah, yeah. So I can see this thing with females in public, and when they say they're just walking down the street and they get harassed. I can see that because I'm not stupid. I when they make these when the feminists and the the dykes and everything, whatever they are, they do these videos about men, what is that called, catcalling and that stuff. I know exactly what they're talking about. As a Mgtow, I know exactly what they're talking about. It makes sense to me because I get that myself. I get overt sexuality pointed at me from other places.
You look at them. I mean, we've almost been molded into what they wanted or what they thought they wanted. Okay, now I'm a man who won't objectify a woman. I couldn't give a fuck if one of her tits is hanging out. I'll probably put it back in and say, just watch that because your tit fell out there. But it's almost like they're saying we don't want men to objectify women, and we're not doing that. So um, we've almost conformed to what the feminists wanted. But now they've got that, they don't want it. Can you imagine if all these women, all these narcissistic women, putting on their fucking makeup and walking around with their tight tops and their fucking yoga pants or whatever, and no man looked at them? They would absolutely be starved of this narcissistic supply that they need to boost their own self-esteem and their own ego.
Yeah.
So they're killing their own supply, and that's what they've got from me. You know, I couldn't give a fuck what you look like, and they're like, "Oh, good boy, you're not objectifying women. Now will you pay me some attention?" No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I couldn't give a fuck what you look like. So please, step aside. I've got stuff to do. So they've got this double-edged sword going on now.
Yeah, that's a double-edged sword. That don't walk down the street with yoga pants or a mini skirt that's way too short or showing the cleavage and everything. These men won't act like that, and I'll hold both parties responsible. I do believe there's an equality here, but it's not just one party. And we talk about men in here, and we talk about their behaviors and how they got to fix those behaviors. And at the same time, I can see that women have to fix their behaviors too. Because they're just they have no control over themselves anymore in this population.
Well, I see. I noticed it about 10 years ago when they started wearing those funny jeans with the low waist, that makes them look like muffin tops, and they've got the love handles hanging over the sides.
It's horrible.
God awful tattoo on their back. What do you?
The tattoo.
Tramp stamp. Yeah, fuck that.
Tramp stamp. Yeah.
I noticed that about 10 years ago, and then they all obviously, because it's the fashion and they've all got to do what their friends are doing. I noticed that women were less attractive anyway. So I just walked around and I thought, well, this is, they're all starting to dress like fucking men. They all look like truck drivers, and even before Mgtow, I've got to say. Women just lost their femininity. They just didn't catch my eye anyway. I was just thinking, well, this is fucking shit, isn't it? I may as well go swimming or go for a run or something. So yeah, I think they did it to themselves.
I think they did it. Yeah. Now, me and my son also had a conversation right after the conversation we had about what he sees, and I says, and that topic came up about women in this area. And he says, Dad, there are a lot of attractive women in this area. And I thought, Jesus, son, I've seen 3 attractive women in this area in the last 2 years. But that's my standards are so much more. My a well-dressed woman and maybe a nice shirt that covers everything with a very, very, she's very covered usually, and she's very demure, and she's usually very pretty. And I thought, well, that's a good looking one. But I've only seen 3 of them that have, the rest of them are, T-shirts, showing too much skin, tattoos, yoga pants. Man, that turns me off faster than, it turns me off really fast. And he's still at that younger age where he says, oh man, Dad, there's just a lot of good looking women, and my standards are so much higher. But that's because I have so much more respect for myself now.
Yeah. And even the ones, I mean, if you find them visually attractive, it's like you say, I can't remember the last time I saw a woman who was attractive or feminine, mainly because I don't look for them, and I don't really go to places where there's lots of women. Maybe the supermarket. If I go to the store, that's the place where I see the most women, and to be honest, they all look like shit.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think probably men's standards have dropped because women are just less feminine, and the fact of the matter is, if I ever did see one who was attractive, she's got to remain attractive after she's opened her mouth. That's when they become unattractive, isn't it? When they speak, when they're insulting or entitled. And it doesn't matter if she looks like Miss fucking World. She can be the ugliest person on the inside, and then
Right.
I really don't want to be anywhere near them. So I haven't seen a woman who's attractive on the outside and on the inside ever.
Yeah, there's a certain
Ever.
etiquette too, and we talk about that etiquette a lot that we try to have in the public. I keep a certain etiquette about myself. I'm uh, I'm very polite. I'm very well spoken, and I use dinner table rules at dinner tables and stuff like that because I want people to look at me like that. I need people to see me as a little bit better, and but when I look around myself, there is no etiquette with people anymore.
No,
It
no,
is.
there's not.
I mean, I highly, when I was going to school when I was younger, most girls went to these classes where they learned how to walk straight up and they learned what side of the plate to put the fork on and the spoon on and stuff like that. You rarely see that. You see, you don't see a woman with any kind of skills like that anymore. It's just,
Well, no. Um, and to be honest, the more entitled that these women have got,
yeah,
the less entitled they are, because and it's almost like a fantasy notion that wasn't really like that, but there were obviously some women like that, who were feminine and knew how to carry themselves. And that would be for a man who wanted a trophy wife or some sort of token, sort of prize on his arm, then he would
hmm
have a woman like that, and it would cost him,
it would
and he
cost
would
them.
pay
Yeah,
for it. But the women of today, I mean, they're so entitled, but there's no prize there.
right.
So the men are paying for this thing that eats like a fucking pig and wears muffin top jeans. You, what men must be fucking desperate, because I look at my friends and some of the horrors that they have to live with and they put up with.
Oh
Most
God,
women
yeah.
don't even wash, for fuck's sake. You look at them and you think, when did she last have a fucking wash?
Yeah, that
Honestly.
I noticed that right away. I used to when I dated back, when I did date, my friends would get angry at me because if a woman had tennis shoes on, I would consider her a lower class woman, and any woman that was going to be with me had to have a nice pair of either flats or high heel shoes on, but they had to be a leather. They had to be nice. And
Yeah.
I just thought that was just that was the criteria, that was the point where I wouldn't put up with that kind of dressing. It was you have to have like a good pair of pants on, a decent, it's like going into a club and when they say must have tie on, you know that's my club. I like that. I think all women should act like that. uh, I seen something that interested me this week, and it's the new feminist thing. And it, it was curious to how far they have pushed this thing. Uh, I was watching something, and the man had walked in with his girlfriend, and he sat down at a table, and across the table was like two bad boys or two men, and they started making comments to her, and the guy that was with the women said no, she doesn't want to do that. They're making sexual intervention in innuendos to her. And he says, no, she doesn't want to do that. The one guy leaned over because guys catch on to these feminist things. And he says to the other guy, he says, don't be denying her freedom.
Yeah.
And, and then the woman looked up and says, she thought, oh yeah, he's denying me my freedom. And that's another one of those things where uh, there's nothing to hold them back anymore. They
Yeah.
can do that if they want. They could just get up on the table and they'd have two white knight thugs there. But these men are these PUAs and stuff, these hounds and these hyenas. I call them the hyenas. Uh, they're getting attuned to that.
No, they encourage it.
They
Yeah.
encourage it.
And it's detrimental for the rest of society, even us who don't deal with women. you know, it still encourages that entitlement behavior. And it's interesting what you said there. You know, that you see a woman of a lower class because of the shoes she wears. But if we look at the effect um, this entitlement has had on women, is pervasive right through the classes. I mean, you couldn't say it's only affecting the working classes or the lower classes or the middle class or the upper class. I mean, we have a class system.
Yeah.
A class system. Do you categorize people or give people classifications based on wages and like socioeconomic status? So we've always had that. I think it
Right.
was Charles Booth back in the 19th century. Charles Booth made a map of
Yeah.
London, and he classified everyone, and he gave them all colours, and he really went into it. But this feminism thing is pervasive through every single class of woman. It's not like, you know, you because you've got lots of money you can be entitled. Even the poor scumbag women have been allowed to be entitled now. In fact, they get all the cash and prizes from the government,
Right.
and it's infected every single kind of woman, every single race of woman, every single religion of woman, every class of woman. You know, every classification of female has, in some way, allowed it to make them worse as a person. So it's not even as if you could say, well, there's a subsection of women that hasn't been effective. I mean, it's been so effective um, in its agenda that I don't know. It must be. It must just be female nature um, that manifests itself in all women, regardless of their background, regardless of their upbringing, because they're all so entitled, and they're also fucking dangerous, aren't they? Every man, you know, and all over the fucking world, we've got men from all over the world saying exactly the same things.
Right. Right. Yeah. This is that. I see the thing which they try to talk about with the cuckolding and everything, and
Mm.
in this is where it's going. If a woman wants that, even in a marriage, even in a relationship, the men will be held as lesser men if they don't let their women do that.
Look at feminism as an ideology, just from a psychology standpoint. I mean, if you try to impose an ideology on a nation or a race and get them all to buy into it, that would be a fucking achievement, wouldn't it? Um, it's like Hitler with the Nazis, isn't it? If you can get so many people under your control, now look at what feminism's done. It's
Yeah.
infected the fucking world, not just a nation or a race. It's infected the whole fucking world. And when these women see how other women are benefiting from it, they all buy into the ideology, even if it means, you know, hatred and the advocation of, you know,
Right.
hashtag kill all men and things like that. Look how powerful it is. That's fucking scary, isn't it?
Yeah, it is scary. And when you have these white knight cackling hyenas, they're waiting for one bitch to drop off. Uh,
Yeah.
that makes it there's a backdrop for them, and but that's a horrible thing there. That's a horrible thing. We used to portray it as saying, the pimps, they won't let the whores go, and but they found a new way to get to the whores now, and they're going to turn them out. Uh, and it's just a horrible thing, and they're allowed to do that now. And on this one end, they say that this prostitution thing is illegal for the Johns, but to be a whore is okay, and you can see it so pervasive in everything, in every manner of thinking, and it's boiled so much down into dating, where why would you want to sign up for that? Why would any man want to sign up for that? I just walk away and say, hey, no, no. If
Second-hand pussy, disgusting.
Yeah, yeah,
Well,
there's no
not even second-hand, third, fourth, fifth.
fourth, fifth, sixth. Most women have 50, 60 lovers before you ever meet them. It's like, no, no, that's not good enough for me. And that's all I'm saying is that's not good enough for me. but we're not allowed to say that.
Anyway, it's like they say, you know, it's not your woman, it's just your turn.
Yeah.
I've said it to my friends before. You're not the first, and you won't be the last. And they look like they want to punch me in the face because in their mind, they are the man. You know, they've convinced themselves that they've got something that no other man has got. And I just look at them and I think, you know, you'll be crying into your beer in 2 years' time when she's fucked you over and someone else is hanging out the back of her. So, yeah.
Oh God, yeah, I see that all the time. I got this one friend around her. She's not my friend. She's just an acquaintance. She's got four different kids from 4 different baby daddies, and I've watched this whole thing progress, and I've known each one of those men, and each one of the next guy thinks he's the next best thing, and he's going to be that guy, and then he's gone, and then there's the next. And one day I says, the 2 guys walked into the room, and I said, "Hey, baby daddy number 4, meet baby daddy number 1."
And they have to have a dad off, don't they?
They had a dad off, yeah.
The dad off. Now I get some self-respect, and there's a woman in the middle, you know, thinking she's, you know, her shit don't stink because she's got all these men fighting over her. It just that's when you sort of really do lose interest, and how easy is it to control your sexual urges when you look round and you just see women who've got a plethora of men all fighting over that one stinking old dead hedgehog between her legs.
Oh God, yeah. The interesting part was all her kids were in one day, and they're all trying to explain why their names were different than the other kids. So one was Jones, and one was Robertson, and one was, I'm just making these up as I go, and one was Johnson, and one was Harry. You know, and the kids were like, the other kids were looking at him like, okay, your last name is Jones, and your brother's last name is Johnson, and they're going, I don't understand that.
They've got to figure it out, haven't they? And the adults leave them in the dark, you know, and it's all a bit of an awkward conversation. So the kids have to sort of, you know, work it out for themselves.
Yeah, it's putting the kids in a position of ostracization, because the other kids will ostracize them until they figure it out, because they can't let that into their group because there's something wrong.
Shining's in the house.
Hey, Shining, how you doing?
Greetings, gentlemen. I was just enjoying the chat room there. We've got a few guys in there.
Yeah, we do.
Zeta's just joined us. Zeta, Chris,
okay,
Joey, Badass Dan, Johnny Midnight.
Cool.
It's nice to be back. Nice to be back, guys. I was just having my breakfast, by the way. That's where I've been.
Were you just having breakfast? Okay.
Yeah, I have breakfast at 9:30 in the evening now.
Hey, you're a Mgtow. You can eat whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, of course. People don't know it's Ramadan, so some of us are fasting. So in the UK, that's a 19-hour fast. That's
Wow.
19 hours. I made an omelette. I put a bit of sprinkled some fresh chili on there, but I use butter instead of oil. It really makes a difference. You know, what's his name? Gordon Ramsbottom is always banging on about using butter, and I tell you, it's a lot smoother. There's no, you don't even notice it. You know, when you eat oil all that often, like when eating your chips and stuff. Try frying with butter. It's a lot smoother. The taste is a lot more.
Oh yeah.
A lot nicer.
Yeah, I do that with my eggs and fry them. But I like bacon grease actually. If I'm making bacon and eggs at the same time.
Oh, I can't have bacon grease.
You can't have bacon. Yeah. I like to do that. I'm sorry. It's just that's what I use because it makes it much more flavor. Oil, but if you take that regular oil and put it in there, that egg is going to taste like ugh.
You know, I've been having it for so long, I just haven't noticed. I just have not noticed, but lately I've been trying to use butter more and more. Obviously, butter.
What sausages can you eat?
I do have sausages. I've got lamb sausages, beef sausages, and turkey sausages.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's nice.
Oh, Johnny uses olive oil. I did try olive oil. It's number one, it's kind of expensive, and number two, I think it's even sharper than corn oil, sunflower oil, or rapeseed oil. They're called.
Yeah.
I think olive oil is even sharper.
Oh my God! Yeah, my buddy won't even let me cook with grapeseed oil. He goes nuts if he even sees it. He says he can taste it.
Yeah, I think people some people are allergic to rapeseed oil, but I think it's I think it's one of those scientific discoveries. I think should be patted on the back because they did make oil very very affordable before rapeseed oil came about. I think cooking oil was I think butter was cheaper than cooking oil before that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's some real health benefits to grapeseed oil too. That removes the hormones in your body. They say I've been trying it. I started it like last year or so, using it in salads and stuff. But it helps to remove the estrogens
Mm.
from a male's body, and we have an overload of female hormones in our meats and in our vegetables. That they put it everywhere now.
Yeah, I haven't found a use for olive oil yet. I mean, I mean, after like a while, it goes off quite quickly. I don't know if you guys realize, but it crystallizes quite quickly.
It goes
Uh,
cloudy, doesn't it? And sort
yeah,
of
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're supposed to be still usable when it's like that.
yeah, yeah. You can still use it. It's like honey. When honey crystallizes, you can still use it, but it's not the same.
Oh,
Maybe it's
oh
just
yeah.
me. I don't think it's the same personally.
Yeah, you can't put it in the refrigerator like you can do corn oil in a salad dressing because it will go to that what do you call that thickness state where it's not going to
Yeah,
come back.
yeah, crystallization. But
Yeah.
yeah, butter,
Oh, it
amazing.
congeals. Yeah, it congeals.
Yorkshire butter, of course. I don't know if Betty Bollocks is listening, but Yorkshire butter. I have to say, you guys down south, you don't know what you're missing. Yorkshire butter is just the best. Don't know what's going on up here in the north with the cows, but the Stuart's in the house. James, good old James,
Yeah.
Xavier, not Denton. But yeah,
Now I do know when I used to be a short order cook when I lost my job for a while and I had to work under the table as a short order cook. What they do is they take the butter and they put it in a pan and then above the heat, and it would one it the solids would fall to the bottom, and then what you got was the clear on the top of that, and that was always much better to cook on. We
Is
made
that
eggs on.
clarified butter?
Yeah, clarified butter. So take your butter and melt it. The clarified butter will rise to the top. Take that off, and that is much better to cook with, and it tastes better. It tastes great then.
mm. Yeah. Well, I tell you what. I mean, because in the east, in the far east, which is basically where I'm from, that's just if you don't know by now, that's where I'm from.
Yeah.
In our culture, we don't have butter. We don't have butter. We don't have cheese.
Huh.
In fact, the Orientals hate cheese. I'll tell you guys now. If you go to China, Japan, all those places, you won't find cheese. They just don't eat it.
Makes sense because there's a saying you can eat cheese with pretty much everything, can't you? Melted cheese goes well on everything, but you could never have cheese with Chinese food. Never.
No.
Yeah.
No.
If you've noticed, there's no such thing as a Chinese cheese dish. Doesn't exist.
Yeah. Now they use the substitute for that, which is the soy blocks. What do you call those soy blocks? And then you cut them up.
Tofu.
Tofu, yeah. And it's a vegan thing, and it just kind of tastes like it's like a cheese substitute. It's almost the same thing.
Oh no, it's
No?
not. No, tofu's made out of soybeans.
Yes, soybeans.
But the thing is, oh, by the way, James Xavier, ice cream doesn't have cheese. You don't make ice cream using cheese. Because what? No ice cream. Okay, tofu. Yeah, in their zest to try and compete with the West cheese, the Japanese and the Chinese, they've tried to ferment all these type of things, and they try to ferment tofu as well. So there is a fermented tofu, but I hear it's an acquired taste. Some of those guys like it. Now, what's funny is the Japanese, they've got something called natto, which is also made out of soybeans. Strangely enough, all these things made out of soybeans, but they ferment the beans itself. Rather than the tofu, the beans is minced up into a powder, like wheat, and then they make it, like you say, into this like mushy type of a cheesy consistent type of the thing. But the Japanese, they've got natto. And that's all the rage these days. I mean, as you guys know, cuisine and cookery is evolving all the time. And same over there. Them guys that always making up new dishes, and I mean, keeping up it's quite a big. I mean, it's an exciting time to be a chef, by the way.
Oh, I was just looking up natto. That's not immediately NATO came up.
No, I think it's N-A-T-T-O.
N-A-W.
Double T.
Oh, double
N-A-T-T.
Okay, that makes sense. Natto. Oh, N-A-T-T-A-U. I got to recipe. Natto recipe. I wanted to see what it looked like.
There's a sauce called Shitto. Have you ever seen that? Google Shitto.
Google Shitto. Ooh. That doesn't sound good. I'm not really happy with the way that sounds.
It's called Shitto.
Oh, I'm looking. They look like a bean, huh?
Yeah, it's a soybean. That's what a soybean
it's
looks
a
like.
soybean. Let me bring up a picture of that. Natto and natto recipes. And then I put that up. Oh, yeah. The Indian market around the corner from me used to have all sorts of different kinds of beans that I've never seen in my life.
No, I put N-A-T-T-O and natto came straight up.
Yeah.
It's traditional Japanese food made from soybeans. As I said, fermented using the same bacteria as they use in cheese, actually.
Oh, so it's a fermented bean. Okay.
But all it does, it doesn't break it down. All it does, it forms a type of cheese around the bean. So that gooey stuff, that's actually that's actually cheese made out of the bacteria that's made out of the soybean. So
okay, I could probably do this with kefir grains and ferment the bean and kefir grains.
Apparently, it's disgusting, but a lot of people like it. Apparently, yeah, some people love it. Some people absolutely hate it.
I can't wait till it comes to America. We'll have natto stands.
Oh, you can get it in fact, some of the videos I'm watching are from American Japanese restaurants.
Okay.
Okay, but Badass Dan says he's not a fan of Chinese food. Badass Dan, you just haven't tried good ones. That's all. That's it.
Now, when we go into a restaurant, me and my buddy, we always order the ananami, which is the soybean steamed.
I don't know that.
Yeah. Ananami. I think ananami.
Like Chinese takeaway. It's like it's Western Chinese food, isn't it? There's a friend of mine when I used to train martial arts a lot, and a friend of mine, his friend came over from Macau in southern China and stayed with a Chinese family here, and my friend's mum cooked for him and he didn't like it, and my friend said to him, "What's wrong with it?" And he says, "I don't like English food." Even an English living Chinese family cooking food for this Chinese guy who came over, he saw it as English food.
Yeah, I thought Gordon Ramsbottom. It's Gordon Ramsay. I keep making fun of him. Gordon Ramsay. I didn't have any respect for this guy until he started making fun of Chinese takeaway, and then I realized, this guy's a proper chef, because the food that they have at home, or the food that they're proud of, is not the Chinese takeaway. What you buy at the Chinese takeaway, nice as it is, it's not actually traditional Chinese food. It's been westernized, just as the curry has. Just as when when curry has got. It's funny. People, they say save our culture. You guys have got no idea. This is your culture.
Yeah.
Everything that's westernized from the Chinese food, Indian food, they don't actually have it over there. This is indigenous to your lands.
Yeah, there's no. We have a curry dish, don't we, called chicken tikka masala.
Yeah.
And it's like bits of red chicken that have been soaked in yogurt and spices, and then they cook it and they put a bright red sauce over it, and pissed up drunk Englishmen eat it with pints of lager, and that's British curry. It's a British curry. They look at it and think, what the fuck are those Englishmen eating?
That's British cuisine. That's British cuisine. And now the thing is, I'm sure I've said this before, but to really appreciate a country's food, you have to go to a good place. I mean, it's no point me going to the sloppiest fish and chip shop in Yorkshire and say, oh, you know what, fish and chips is shit. Because that's just not fair. You've got to go to a good, decent fish and chip place that has got fresh ingredients. I've got proper chefs and got people that respect the food, and that's the same with any place. I mean, the first time I tried Italian, I thought it was shit. I mean, I went to my friend's house. His name was Caro. A man called Caro. But anyway, his mum cooks me spaghetti bolognese, and it was the first time I had Italian food. It wasn't all that, guys. I mean, it was soggy, it was sour, it was and she put all this cheese on it, and she didn't know, you know, Chinese people don't eat cheese, and I thought that made it even worse. So from that day after 15 years old, I thought, you know what, I don't like Chinese Italian food. Anytime anybody invited me to Italian, I said no, I'll leave it, you know. And this went right up until I was like 35, until I actually went to a proper Italian pizza place. And honestly, you just don't realize the difference, you know, when someone actually, you know, the skill is 90% of it, I'd say. The chef is 90% of the food.
Italian food is just covered in cheese, isn't it? The way we do it, anyway. Anything you buy from the supermarket that's a derivative of Italian food, like any pizzas or anything else, is just fucking smothered in cheese, and I like it.
Yeah. Italian food is so simple. It's like bread, tomatoes, cheese. Well, actually, I think you could include pasta with the bread. So it's flour, tomatoes, cheese, and whatever meat they've got. I mean, it's very, very simple. But the skill of putting all those simple ingredients it's such a difference. And same with English food as well. I remember the first time his name's look at my memory. The guy's name was David. I went to David's house. His glasses were so thick it enlarged his eyes like 80% or something like that. But I went to his house, and his mum cooked me baked beans, chips, boiled carrots, and there were some sausages there. Something, you know, your basic English typical. Can't be asked to cook, so I'll make you this shit. And I thought, well, you know what? My mum's cooking isn't that bad after all. But you know, you really have to go to a proper English, like roast beef, mint sauce, roast lamb, a Yorkshire pudding. You know, something that's, you know, well put together. I don't think it's fair to judge a cuisine until you've gone to a good place.
Hey, Joe, you don't have the spices for curry there. You were saying.
No, they're very hard. You have to go to an Indian store, and Indian stores are far and few between here. We don't even have too many Indian restaurants. We have a lot of Italian restaurants, and because there was a huge amount of Italian immigrants to this area, so you know, we had that. That's kind of tapering off. We have a lot of like American food restaurants, like barbecue.
But Shining can make a curry. You can make a curry out of all sorts of different ingredients, really, can't you?
Yeah, a curry is just a style of cuisine. It's not a particular dish. It's a style. Like you can curryfy anything. Some things are not good to curry, by the way.
Oh God, I can't even get Chinese delivery here. There's no Chinese delivery here.
It must be. Do you know that makes me think it must be really rough. If even the Chinese won't live in Lorraine.
Yeah, even the Chinese won't come here. It's just me and some other guys that live here. That's
wow. African food.
Oh.
She was a really shit cook. But the only thing she ever made, which was half decent, was an oxtail curry. But she didn't call it a curry, and it tasted exactly like one. But she would call it a gravy. She would say, "No, that's a gravy." I'm like, well, whatever. It tastes like a curry, you know. Yeah,
the Queen called it a curry as well. It was Queen. Was it Queen Victoria the First? Was it her that brought over the Indians over to the UK? Let me just check on that.
Yeah. No, I do get a lot of Hispanic food here because most of the people around here are Hispanic, and it's wonderful. I'm not going to complain one little bit about it.
Mexican food like?
Yeah, Mexican, Brazilian. We get Puerto Rican, and It's just nice. It's sort of, I guess that's what to Americans is what you guys call curry.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's the cumin and the chili peppers, cumin and chili peppers kind of mixed thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my friend, who's Pakistani, by the way, opened up a Chinese restaurant because in my area there wasn't any. Oh, actually, it was a Chinese takeaway, and the chef quit.
Wow.
Originally, he got a Chinese chef. He quit, so he decided he was going to cook the food, and he cover-fried everything. He turned the sweet and sour chicken into a curry. He turned the beef black bean into a curry. He made everything into a curry.
Made everything.
Oh, it was a disaster. It was a disaster, the poor guy. Yeah, it was Queen Victoria that brought over curry to the UK in the 19th century.
So he wasn't paying attention when the real cook was doing it, huh?
No, it's just chefs. You know, chefs, they've got a particular style and they've got a particular skill set, and it's not always clear how they can transfer that to make other type of cuisines. It's such an interesting. I should have been a chef, me. But it's so interesting. It's like you know, crossing over from one cuisine to another, you just can't do it. You know, you need to be trained in each one. I know it sounds conceited of me, but honestly, you can't just transfer. You can't, you know, make English food your entire life and think, oh, you know what, I'm just going to make Indian now, or I'm going to try an Indian, or you can be a fantastic curry chef. Like I've known some great curry chefs, and when they've tried to make Chinese food, it's a disaster, but they love it. It's been a disaster, and when the Chinese guys try and make curries as well, that's funny. They make it quite silly. In fact, the Chinese do have a curry. If you go to the Chinese takeaway or the Chinese restaurant, they do have a Chinese version of curry. It's quite nice. It's a yellow one. It's quite sweet. You can have it with it's normally done with a chicken, but if you use it as a dipping sauce, it's very nice.
Yeah. I wish we could get more Asian cuisine up here. I have to drive about 40 miles to actually get a.
You should make it yourself. Look, Joe, I put two recipes down for you. I made the ribs, which was Chinese now, and I made the fried rice. I don't know if you can access those videos, but they're both very, very good.
Didn't you? You made a curry?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I did make a curry as well. So that's three dishes now.
Did. Okay.
Yeah.
What that powder you put in? Masala powder.
Masala powder. Invaluable. You can't replace it. Masala powder. You just can't. To make a masala powder from scratch, no, you just buy it. It's cheap. It's like £4 a kilo or something. Dirt cheap.
I used to get masala powder in packages at the Indian store when I lived on the other side of Cleveland, and that was always nice. But I always overdid it. You know, and
that's a very common mistake. Masala powder, unless you're making. It's quite difficult to explain, but you just flavor it. It's just
you need very, very little, and you need to fry or brown your masala powder before you cook. And I didn't know that at first, and no one ever explained that thing, and it was always way too hot. And
I know it's like I said, you have to learn these things. It's like some ingredients you just add, and some ingredients you have to literally cook the shit out of it, like masala powder, you have to cook it. It's not something like you sprinkle on like MSG or salt.
Yeah.
You have to cook that shit to get that flavor out, and it's so many things to remember. But it's a lot of fun. I think guys could get a lot of benefit from that. You could not only eat tastier food but healthy, and also I think you could manage it. But I think a lot of money is wasted because people they throw away a lot of food as well because they don't get it right. I mean, you're always experimenting, and quite often, I think more men could benefit from learning how to cook.
Yeah. Now, I do have a jar up there in my cabinet, and it's like a blank jar which I put the masala powder in when I bought it. I bought a big bag of it, and my son, every time he mistakes it, he'll always put too much in, and he'd be like, "Dad, this shit is just hot." And I said, no, there's a certain way you got to use that, but it has a slight gingery taste to it too. Like they use ginger in it and nutmeg, don't they? So
yeah,
it's a blend, a light blend of a lot of different a lot of different spices, and all you need is just a little tinge of it in everything, just to get that nice flavor. And
we have pastes now, don't we? We have like a jar of paste, so there'll be oil and all the spices in it, and you can't really go wrong with that. If you it tells you how many spoons to put in per person.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, they're talking about New York pizza. I've actually been to New York and tried their pizza. They sell it. Do you know what, Messenger? They do something over there which they don't have in the UK. Well, they're starting now, but they sell it by the slice. You go over there and you buy a slice of pizza.
Yeah, it's done.
They do in London. We call it street pizza.
Yeah.
And when you're pissed up, you just get one of these big triangles of pizza for £1, and then you just try and find the underground station, wandering around drunk.
Yeah, every convenience store around here sells slices of pizza. But the New York pizza, the difference in it is it's done in a coal oven.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I did like when I went to New York. I liked the tacos. I never had tacos before.
Yeah,
I went to Taco Bell, and I didn't even know what a taco was. I went to Taco Bell. Everyone was ordering these tacos. I said, oh, well, let me just try one of these. I says, look, can I have a taco, please? I'll have the Mexican mince thingy. And she goes, how many you want? And I said, one.
I got to get 4.
I didn't know. You know, I mean, when you walk into a pizza shop, say, how many pizzas you want? You don't normally say 4, so I said I'll have 1 taco. I just give him this little dinny thing. Messenger, it's like a crisp folded up. I don't know if you had a taco. I just didn't.
Some mince in it.
Yeah, it's like a folded up corn chip, and they put like meat and vegetables in there. Mexican food is actually really nice, but finding a good place is tough. Yeah, finding a good Mexican place in the UK.
Oh, that'd be impossible. Yeah.
UK is just not known for Mexican food.
I have tons of them here. We have little mom and pop stores. They haven't closed up yet that still do the real authentic Mexican cooking, and that's where I go to get a lot of my food, and it's really, really nice. And you know, some little old lady back there just cooking her heart out for everybody.
But Badass Dan says he's got there's a Taco Bell now. Yeah, I think that's the next big thing to hit the UK is Mexican food. Mexican food is still not introduced. Have you had Mexican, Messenger?
Yeah, I did. I went to Mexico.
Cool.
I used to love refried beans and all the beef. Everything's got beef in it. And I remember getting drunk on tequila the night before, and I was not well. I was not very well. But the next morning, you know, you go down for your hotel breakfast. Now in England, if you have a hotel breakfast, you'll have a fry-up, won't you? So there'll be fried eggs and sausages and bacon and some beans.
Tomatoes.
All that shit, yeah. But their breakfast was scrambled eggs, but with shredded beef in it, and refried beans. And I just piled my plate up with that, and it was an instant hangover cure.
Wow.
And I loved the food out there. I really did. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't even know.
Right.
I don't know the difference between a taco and an enchilada, to be honest.
All right. Well, Badass Dan, you should know better than that. He said he tried a taco at the KFC. You should know better than that.
No, nobody eats at the KFC.
You eat chicken. You eat fried chicken at the KFC. You don't go there for Chinese take. I remember one of the best places to eat in my city. It's called the Great Wall. Wonderful place. I've been eating there for years, for like 15 years. Excellent chef. Excellent place to eat. Probably one of the best in North England. A guy walks in, a white guy with a thingy. A white guy with his high-vis vest walks in. He has the menu. He can order lobster. He can order a soup. He can order, some very traditional dishes. He walks in. He goes, "Oh, can I have burger and chips?" I just look at him. You don't go to a Chinese takeaway order burger and chips, just as you don't go to a KFC and order Mexican food.
Oh my.
Oh, I'm afraid I'm embarrassed by that, Stan.
Okay. Hungry.
Can I bring out that little comment? I was just talking with Messenger.
Yeah.
I don't mean to embarrass this guy. This guy's gonna know who he is. I like, you know, if he's listening, you know, I like you. He's been one of my long time subscribers, but basically this is normally what I get, and basically this was the we were talking about the Middle East, and there's always this racism going thing. I said, look, that's racist, and he goes, no, Middle East is not a race. I said, look, with a human race, and what you said was racist. I says, look, have you actually met any people from the Middle East, or have you actually been to the Middle East? And he said, yeah, I've got Arab friends, I've got Chaldean friends, I've got Persian friends. Now, guys, if you don't know, the Chaldeans have been extinct 800 BC, and the Persians vanished over 1,000 years ago. So obviously he's looked up Middle Eastern nations, and Chaldeans and the Persians have come up.
He's been watching too much TV.
I do hope he doesn't delete that comment, but that so made my day. but that's the type of shit people come up. You know, Stardust would say, yeah, I had a black guy. I'm not racist. I had a black guy autograph my lunchbox. Oh wow! Oh, guys.
Yeah. Hey, I think Paul finally banned me.
Elam.
No, Paul, flaming the flag.
Well, that's it. How are you going to climb these social circles without being in the Paul circle? I mean,
I did what we talked about. I said Turkey is going to so beat Wales in soccer.
I told you that would work.
He went off on a tirade, and a lot of swear words, and a lot of I'm gay and I'm a fag. And then I said, no, England is going to get so beat by Germany.
Oh, that's the one. Oh, that was harsh. That's below the belt.
And then he just banned me after that. I was like, oh, cool, finally.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know, there's been a long... Yeah, because the US, they won't understand football politics. Oh, by the way, if you guys have been paying attention to the news, there was a bit of an incident in Marseille when Russia was playing England, and obviously this brought up this football or soccer issue that Joe's now bringing up, and basically Joe asked, well, what would be the comment that would piss off England supporters the most? And I said Turkey beating England or Germany beating England. And obviously there's an old rivalry between Germany and England, and they always bring up the war. It's always the war. Where's Warhorse when you need him?
Yeah. That would be like saying to me, like Pittsburgh is going to come to Cleveland and beat us, and then they're going to rape our women.
They're gonna take our women to protect your women, and they're gonna corrupt your culture. You got to protect your culture.
Yeah, against the Pittsburgh Steelers. I hate those guys.
Oh shit, man.
Well, it would be for anywhere. It would be like the estate you're from, or the team you support. What did they used to say?
Homers, the Homers, or the
no, it'd be an English football chant, or they'd say, "England boys, we are here. Shag your women and drink your beer." And they would just chant that going down the street. "England boys, we are here. Shag your women and drink your beer." And that was the insult, you know. We've come here to rape and pillage.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny.
On a serious note, though, that behaviour of English fans, it is often the blight of England. I mean,
oh, yeah.
it is entirely disgraceful. The way the English fans behave and the reputation they get, you know, it's really bad. And yeah, you could say it's part of the culture, but this is not a part of the culture.
We have one of those famous incidences in Cleveland. We call it Bottlegate, where in the last 3 seconds of the game, the penalty was taking his helmet off. The guy took his helmet off on the field, and which gave him an attempt, and they beat us with a field goal. And everybody in Cleveland, and that was the time when we had those big bottles. We started throwing bottles onto the field at the referees.
Yeah, it's. I mean, because the thing is, there's genuine sport fans. There's guys that have followed it since their father introduced them to it, their grandfather introduced his father, so forth. So it's been a generations of sports fans, and then to have the sport tarnished not only by racism, because obviously there's that big thing about racism in football, but also by violence and you know, some of the images and videos that are now popping up that are coming out from the England fans. I mean, English fans abusing little kids on the street. I mean, it's just so embarrassing.
It's a different kind of sports fan, isn't it? Because in football, they'll have their opposite ends. They have their opposite ends, and the fans are kept apart. Often there's like fences, and you know, they have different stands they sit in, and they just shout abuse at each other. And you know, the police often line the underground stations so the opposing fans don't meet each other. But if you go to a rugby match, you have fans from the opposite sides all sitting next to each other. They're all mixed, you know, just saying, oh, this is a good game, you know, commenting on the sport. So why I don't understand why you get that tribalism between football fans.
This is it. I mean, this is it. Yeah.
You know, it's just peaceful.
I mean, what's his name? Howard Dare just made a video called "Is Nationalism Bad?" And that's the thing. It can be a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, if you look at the Olympics was set up as a uniting forum for the entire world. You know, when nations were invading other nations, they says, well, let's unite on sport. So all nations, they would compete on a supposedly friendly level, and that's what football was supposed to be. We were supposed to come, you know, the German team will now play off, and same with the Russian and America. The Russian team will now play the American team, and let's see who's best. But when you start killing somebody, when you stab somebody on the street because he's supporting another nation's team, no, this nationalism is bad. This is bad nationalism. Good nothing wrong with being proud of your culture. Nothing wrong with being proud of your nation or proud of who you are. Nothing wrong with that. But when you start saying, you know, I am better, I am more worthy than you, and you're just shit, and everything about your culture is shit, and then you start killing each other or you start fighting and.
Oh, we had two bad examples of that in history with the Olympics too, didn't we? With Jesse Owens, and then when America sent Jesse Owens, the first black runner, and he was competing against the Germans, and then we had it with the Israelite team when there was the murders and the whole you know, shooting in the Olympics.
It's very sad. And you know what, guys? Listen, we don't want it in Mgtow. We don't want, well, you're not atheist, so you can't be. And we're getting arseholes like that. Or, oh well, you don't speak English, so you know, like for example, the Latinos are coming along board now, and there's a lot of Europeans that don't speak English, or you're not Western enough for us. You know, guys.
Spanish-speaking channels now, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of them. Yeah, I've seen a big, even the American Spanish are starting to make. We had two great examples just this week of two channels that popped up that were just good channels, and they just did their first videos this week, or their second or third. I can't remember which they were, and one was I think both of them were Hispanic speaking. Well, they're not. They're American speaking Hispanics, and then we have a vast amount of just a Spanish speaking. I wish I knew what they were saying too, and I even seen a few German videos that I couldn't understand what they were saying.
All the videos, don't they? Some of them, I think, I can't remember the guy's name. Is it Mgtow? He's got a picture of a frog up there, but he's got Spanish videos and English videos and subtitles, either or, and his content is really good. I mean, I
like Mayor's little Spanish. No, it's not Spanish, is it? It's Portuguese. His little Portuguese video. Sorry to interrupt you there, Messenger.
Does he speak Portuguese? Is that for?
Apparently he does. Apparently Mayor of Mgtow speaks Portuguese.
Mayor of Mgtow speaks Portuguese. Cool. Yeah. You know, it'd be really a good service. I see a lot of the guys putting up these Mgtow, what do you call them, playlists. But if one guy would take the Mgtow playlist and put subtitles in Spanish or Japanese or Korean or German and stuff, so the guys that don't speak English could understand them. I think that would be just a wonderful thing to do if someone could type in the subtitles.
Yeah, yeah, guys, we don't want that racism around in Mgtow. I know there's some closet racists, and there's some guys that are racist, but they don't want to label themselves racist because they know racism is bad. Nationalism is good. Guys, nationalism is fine. Just don't make it a fighting issue.
Yeah. Would you like to see if you were in the Islamic, or and you've seen your first Barbarossa video with subtitles typed in there, so you can actually understand what he was saying? I think that would wake up I think it would wake up a lot of people to, things aren't all that great over here, and things aren't so much different. We have things.
Not only that, but the minorities in the West, in the England, in Canada. I was about to say Canada.
Canada, yeah.
in America, the Muslims, the Spanish, all the Christians and the Jews and all the different types of variations of men in there. I mean, how many men are we alienating when we start this nationalistic, racist, skin color bullshit?
We spoke about this, didn't we? And we figured out. I mean, Mgtow is always trying to defend itself from being co-opted from the outside. I mean, that's essentially what it is, isn't it? Some outside group co-opting Mgtow for its own agenda.
Yeah.
But what we realised was, if there are men who are nationalist leaning or racist within Mgtow, and they let their nationalist or racist beliefs overpower their Mgtow beliefs, then their message will be essentially nationalist or racist. But they are co-opting from inside within the group. We don't. It's almost like Mgtow is eating itself.
All right.
Co-opting itself from the inside, rather than, we don't need to worry about the outside if we've got people inside who've got a different agenda, who could be easily swayed by that.
I'm just going to put it out there. Listen, if Mgtow is about, it's about improving men. It's about moving away from gynocentrism. It's about trying to get the best deal for men as possible in this very, very destructive, toxic environment for men. If it's about getting rid of male disposability, if that's what Mgtow is about, then Stardust has left Mgtow, because he's promoting Western culture, which at the moment is feminism. He's promoting nationalism, which is against, let's face it, a lot of men, and he's opposing anyone that's not atheist, and he's opposing anyone who's basically not white. Now the
collectivist mindset, isn't it? It goes against the individualist mindset that we've tried to encourage, and it's almost encouraging tribalism and self-segregation, sort of saying, we're gonna close ranks now. This is our group, and if you don't fit in with what we consider to be normal, you're not going to be accepted. And there's almost like an echo chamber there now of people who.
It's worrying, because more and more people are adopting it. It's like, oh yeah, we are great. We are actually quite fun. No, we still got the problem. Men are getting fucked over. The government is part of the problem. The government are not going to change because all of a sudden you're saying, oh, we're back on your side now. No, they've been fucking you over for decades.
Yeah, that's what what's his name, the Mgtow gangster guy this morning was saying. I thought he did a very good job of the black pill, and explaining that if there's a certain amount of Mgtow you got to get to. And we say it in here, Mgtow monks are the truest form of Mgtow, and that's the pentacle of Mgtow. We believe that we're the pentacle of Mgtow. That's where everybody has to get to. And but there's a there's a pulling away from that of men that just want to stick in these subgroups down and adopt blue pill, half purple pill, ideologies that's convenient for them.
Well, you find they're always sort of having to justify it as
And
well.
they're having to justify it. That's what starts. You used this word the other day, and Stardust does a very tricky form of intellectual racism.
Yeah.
Well, Johnny Midnight is saying if Mgtow was to be Gnostic asexuals, no one would adopt it. Now that's a very good point. Now we're not saying you have to be asexual or agnostic. What we're saying is you can't say you have to be atheist. We can't say you have to be white or you have to be black or you have to be Christian or no one's saying you have to be Muslim to be Mgtow. But the fact is we are getting there now. We're getting there now where people are saying, well, you have to have this certain belief system. Yeah. You have to be of this certain culture.
There's a twisting of words, and it's not directly saying, you have to be this. It's more sort of insinuating that you can't be of a certain persuasion. And exactly. Alienates people. That's what it sort of, it does alienate people, and it's almost like making it clear, that you're not going to be welcome, so don't even bother trying.
Right. Yeah, that's what that kid this morning was trying to do to me, wasn't it? He was.
Well, we reversed it, didn't we? And we said, no, you're not welcome, so don't bother trying, because he's trying to push a trans agenda on a men's group, and it's not men wearing dresses going their own way. And it's not men being dictated to by men wearing dresses going their own way.
What they were saying, if I don't accept that, then I'm not a Mgtow. And that's crazy. That's just crazy.
I know. Surely, someone's got a phone ringing there.
That was me.
Is it the girlfriend?
The wife. It's the wife. Shh, I'm not here.
It's the second wife. Yeah, Johnny Midnight. That's how it should be, and that's how it was when I first found it, and when a lot of people first come. Mgtow is supposed to be for all men. Men meaning not a woman. Yeah. So if you're a man who wants to be a woman, that doesn't include you. But generally, it's for all men. All men are welcome. All men are welcome.
Yeah, it is a group. I say from the first inception, Mgtow means men, plural, going their plural own way. They're both plural. It speaks about the group. It doesn't speak about any individualism in this thing. It's a collective thing where one thing is we're masculine men.
And do you know what? We were doing so well. I mean, you remember a couple of years ago when I first came in, I mean, Mgtow was flying off the charts. I mean, we were getting some great minds in here. And then just now, recently, down the line, I mean, I was listening to Tifa's...
oh, God, wasn't it horrible?
Yeah, and I think last Sunday you and Messenger were talking about Alex Brown's one as well. Now, this is just an indication of what's going on, and I think it's very sad. It's very sad, and there needs to be a back to basics Mgtow. I mean, we really need to get back to the point at hand. Is men trying to improve their lives, not trying to make other men's lives miserable, or trying to alienate or to form a us versus them.
Yeah, and it's just bargaining, isn't it? When they get to that point where they're not willing to be the Mgtow monk, they're not willing to put up or shut up, they start bargaining at the things that they're willing to accept in life. They're bargaining with the amounts of gynocentrism they're willing to accept. And no, we don't accept no gynocentrism. Zero, zilch, nothing.
I just find it strange how we're getting now Mgtows that are pro-government or pro-current government, not government as in the concept of government, but government as in as it is today. The Democrats or Republicans, or in the UK either it's the Tory or Labour. These guys were the problem in the these were the problem in the first place. If it wasn't for these guys, that women wouldn't have been put in charge. Women wouldn't have been able to screw you over in court. You know, women wouldn't be able to kick you out of your house and put you in prison on the word. And then to get people like Stardust saying, "Oh no, we're actually we're the best culture in the world. We're the best nation." No. And then this guy, you know, sorry, Gavi. I actually like Gavi. the guy's name is Guy, but he was saying no, he would fight and die for his country. Come on, man. Has it really come to this? We've now gone all the way back to the beginning of when the problem started. We're now going to throw our lives away just so the future generations can continue to live in a gynocentric world. Have you learned nothing, Stardust? Have you learned nothing?
Yeah, that's funny. I just see it as, you know, they're slow walking backwards, and if they're doing it real slow so nobody notices, you know, and that's not Mgtow. Mgtow, I'm gonna keep to my guns on this, and I don't care what anybody says to me. The Mgtow monk is the truest form of Mgtow. It's the original Mgtow. It's what Mgtow was supposed to be, and then we're getting tailored back by gynocentrism is what's happening here. We have to give up a little bit here, and that's what I made a video about this when I call we're just giving a little away at a time. It's a death by 1,000 cuts, and if we give a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there, and it doesn't, you hardly notice it at all until you're back in the blue pill world again. And the rest of society is very good at drawing us back in to the blue pill world.
That's right. That's exactly what's happened. Like some Mgtow, I've been dragged back in. That's exactly what's happened. Now we get Mgtow saying, yeah, I'd fight for the government. We need to protect our women. We need to defend our women. We need to defend our country. We need to defend these guys. They don't even know what they're talking about. Number one, if you ask these guys who exactly, because obviously they're talking about the Muslims. If you ask these guys what constitutes a Muslim, they don't know. They say, oh, it's not being racist, but basically, ask these guys, what is a Muslim? Who do you mean by the Muslims? In the end, they mean the brown-skinned Arabs or the Asians or the guys from the north. This is what they mean.
They might as well just say the brown-skinned people and then just let their racism go, you know. There's 1,000 different ways to reword things, and that's where that intellectual racism comes from. And I have to do a video on intellectual racism, and but it's a very difficult subject to understand.
And you know what? They'll say, "Oh, don't play that racist." Before any racist starts sprouting out their hatred, they say, "Oh, freedom of speech." That's what they'll say. Freedom of speech, or I'm not racist. I'm just.
Well, that's what they hit us with. They hit us with that. I'm allowed to be the kind of Mgtow I want to be. And you have to accept that because we're all walking away. No, it has nothing to do with walking away. I don't know where this whole concept came from that. You know, people have to understand them first 5 words.
Do you know that this, because of the situation, we've had to put another label on top of the label. We've had to coin the term, and let's face it, Sandman coined it. Sandman actually coined the term Mgtow monk. And you know, as a sort of a parody, we messengers just sort of went along with it.
Yeah, we embraced it.
And you know, because these people they've taken, you know, Mgtow and dragged it in the shit basic. Do you know what I find weird? I find weird that Stardust and Barbarossa are best friends, but Barbarossa, his version of Mgtow is completely opposite of Stardust's.
Yeah, it is.
It's like totally opposite. So the two of them are either, I don't know, maybe it's like government thing where you play that good cop bad cop and you play both sides. You know, you know the government. So the government set up. Well, this is just what I heard, guys. I don't, you know, no point busting down my door because I don't know anything about them guys. The government build ISIS up and then they go and invade. No, they go and invade Iraq and then they build ISIS up. So then they play both sides. So whichever side wins, they become out the winner.
Yeah, that's what they're doing, and it's. we can see it in what's happening in Mgtow, and people they atone to those ideologies when they see them too. They just kind of transfer to them, and they morph into them, or they mimic them, and then we start seeing them around here. And this is the place. This Mgtow is the place where you shouldn't see that stuff. And we need to get back to the old ways where we're all men, and that's it. We all have the same problems, and the same problems is the court system, and it's the system in society that is gynocentrism.
Yeah, James Xavier, he's comparing Barbarossa and Stardust to Obi-Wan and Anakin.
Yeah, Obi-Wan and Anakin. That's a good.
You've gone astray, Anakin. You was my brother. I loved you.
No, Anakin's the one that turns into the Darth Vader. Yeah. He grows up and becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah, but Darth Vader's kind of cool, and Stardust is not. So. Is Messenger still here?
Yeah, Messenger's in.
I'm in.
Okay.
I just had a phone call.
Yeah, everything cool. You guys want to play name that movie?
Yeah, I was gonna scoot out for like 1 second here and get myself a drink.
Off you go then.
I bought a bottle of vodka today, and I've just been staring at it.
I think things that bad there. Ever since she walked out of, I turned to drink.
I turned to drinking. Yeah, no, it's only 40 proof vodka, so it's the weak stuff. I just like to have a drink once in a while. It usually takes me about a month and a half to finish like a little fifth.
Oh, are we gonna get drunk Joe tonight?
Oh, are we gonna do drunk history?
All right then. Well, let me just set this up. We'll let Messenger entertain the hoi polloi.
I'll be right back.
The hoi polloi.
I'm just gonna set this up. Let me see if it works. You just chit chat on your future video that's coming soon in production.
The future video. Well, it could be any one of 6 videos. So many different things you think about, but you wonder if they're relevant. I don't really watch that much Mgtow content because I'm aware that it affects the way I think, and I don't like to make videos that sort of mirror what other people have said. And you do notice that. You do notice people's videos are quite similar. So I'm trying to be original as well, because I did notice within Mgtow a lot of the information comes from other Mgtow channels. So nobody's sort of bringing information in from the outside, or it happens very rarely. So that's the direction I want to go in. I want to bring a lot of the psychology stuff in as well from my studies, just so people can benefit from it, but also so I can reinforce what I've been learning. And a lot of it is relevant, and it's useful for me. It's useful for us.
Did you hear that voice then? I just played a little voice.
Did you?
I didn't hear it.
I didn't.
Let me play it again and see if you guys can hear it. Just a sec.
Wait, not there.
Oh yeah. Okay, I heard it. Okay.
Is it working?
Yeah, I think it's working. He has to switch between them. Yeah, so what are we doing? What movies are we doing? Name That Movie, or are we doing Name That Mgtow? I think it's Name That Movie.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
That was last. I think that was the last ones. Name That Movie. I've got both today because I didn't do it in the past few weeks. I've got both Mgtow and the movie.
Oh, Name That Mgtow and Name That Movie. It's a special event.
Yeah. I've had to remove one of them because he turned into a racist. All of a sudden he became racist. I said, "Oh, I can't play him then because it's like promoting him, isn't it?" Oh, censorship.
Censorship. Damn.
Hey, we got to
Okay.
let everyone in. All men.
I'll get to play. No matter how crazy and delusional they are, we've got to let them in. Oh, you want to play Name the Mgtow first? Name the movie first.
Oh, yeah. What do you guys what do you guys want to play?
Well. Let's ask Messenger's our top guest today.
Yeah.
What do you want to do first, Mgtow or movie first, brother?
Oh, I think Mgtow.
Okay, cool.
Oh, I don't have the answers. I'm gonna I'm gonna have to play along with you guys.
You can give the answers next time. Keep everyone in suspense.
No, I'm sure we'll work it out. It's not that I certainly don't think I'm as bad as you guys. I actually know most of these Mgtow guys, even though I don't actually particularly watch them. Yeah, so in the chat room, if you haven't played before, what we'll do, I'll play like a 1-minute clip. We'll let the guys in the chat room have a go first. And then after they've had a shot, there's only 3 of us in here, so I'll get to guess. Okay, we'll have the first Mgtow guy. Let's see if you guys can get this guy. I like this guy. He's one of our favourites. This guy. I wonder if he's listening. One of our favourites. Let's see if he's here.
Okay, we're not getting nothing shining.
Now, that's pretty interesting sex education, if you ask me, but that's not what they were pushing here. They were pushing the female condom, a piece of latex that could protect you. So when she was done, and she was very glib and smiling after this presentation, I had 2 questions for her. My hand was right up during this in-service staff meeting. The room was full of teachers, and it was full of teacher assistants and secretaries of staff, all the office staff were there. And I said, well, has a virus ever been cured? And a science teacher popped right up and said, no, you don't cure viruses. Once you have a virus, you're stuck with it. Okay? And so I followed up to her. I said, well, so should we tell junior high kids that you can use some latex to protect yourself from a lethal virus?
I know that one.
That was an easy one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Joey Argon got it, I think.
Yeah, at first he said male feelings. He said male feelings. Well, go on, Messenger. Tell us who that was.
Oh, that's easy. That's Barbarossa.
No, it wasn't Barbarossa.
Nah, his teacher. Come on.
It's Mgtow teacher. One of our favorite guys on here, isn't he?
So let's see. Joey Argon is 1 up.
Yeah, Mgtow teacher. I'm glad he's back. Me too. He's actually in the room. I just want to ask him, teacher, did you come back? Because I asked you to come back. I just wanted to know that. Because in my channel update, I said Mgtow teacher needs to come back, and I'm glad he did. But yeah, definitely one of my personal favorite. Xavier asked you, by the way, Messenger, who your favorite content producer is, by the way.
Of all time, I think Life After Women, Patrick Henry. I think he got every single message that we extraneously over-verbalize in so many different ways. Patrick Henry he does these short videos, and he puts a message out there, and whenever I go back, I think he said it all. He just said it all years ago, and we're just saying it in different ways. But yeah, Patrick Henry, Life After Women, definitely.
Oh, this. It's okay. Okay, did you get that one, Joe?
I got it. I knew who it was.
Yeah.
MT3 is one of my favorite producers.
Yeah.
And,
welcome back, Mgtow teacher. It was you were sorely missed, and I'm enjoying your new videos, by the way. Okay, shall we play the next one?
Yeah, let's go with this next one.
Okay, I don't have the answer, so I'm playing along. But yeah, that first one was definitely easy. Let's see what this guy.
I think it's important to tell our stories to pierce the consciousness of society. Society wants us to man up and shut up. I say no. We need to do the opposite. If no one else will feel compassion for our brothers, it's up to MGTOWs and MRAs to fill the void. With this in mind, I present to you a story from one of our brothers that wishes to remain anonymous. His story is titled, I Almost Rejected the Red Pill. I had several chances to take the fabled red pill and failed to do so. It's amazing how you can look back after the fact and see how messed up things really were. I'm the oldest of 4. I have 3 half-sisters. None of us share a father. I was raised almost entirely by angry women. My mother was an abused divorcee. My aunt and my grandmother were both divorced, and both had a big hand in raising us. I have an uncle who I idolized growing up, but he is gay and at times resented his family for not showing him enough support in his lifestyle choice.
Did you see why I laughed now?
Yeah, I know who that was. Well, Joey Argon gets it again, doesn't he?
Joey Argo. Oh, Joey's on fire. Joey's the king tonight, isn't he?
Joey's the king.
Where is King Mgtow, by the way?
Oh yeah, where's
You sinners! Where's Denton as well? Look at that. I'm gone for 3 weeks, and everyone fucks off. Guys, this is not good. You know, give Traversable a chance. Yeah, well done, Joey. You got that one, Messenger, obviously.
Yeah. Messenger kind of giggled right after it started. He knew.
All right, it gets a bit harder now. So now it's time to separate the wheat from the chaff, as they say.
Okay.
As they say. Okay, let's play the next one then. Just a second.
Media and teachings. For example, I was told to never hit a girl under any circumstances. It didn't matter what the situation was or anything. If you're a male, you just never hit a female. I remember being told that if you hit a girl, that you're a punk. This being a big insult in the Muslim minority neighborhood that I lived in at the time. I remember my parents telling me not to hit chicks at some point, as well as in television commercials and TV shows. As I think back, I remember getting little red pill nuggets every now and then. I remember thinking, what if the girl attacked me with or without a weapon, and I was dealt severe harm? Should I just not defend myself and wait to be killed by an attacking bitch? Now, in modern times, the answer is obvious. However, many times throughout life, men are taught various gynocentric lies. I was taught from an early age that women are angels and the fairer sex, and to treat them like princesses, etc. I learned the hard way that these were obvious untruths. I am pretty sure that most MGTOW experienced some cognitive dissonance after taking the red pill. It is basically a collision of previous gynocentric ideas and lies clashing with red pill MGTOW knowledge in our brains.
No.
I think I know who it is, but
No, you all know this guy. I've seen this guy on almost everyone's channel. I've seen. He comes in here now and again. He doesn't make regular content anymore. But I'm pretty sure the panel should know this. But no one in the chat room has even given it a shot. Come on, Johnny, you must know this guy. Oh, Johnny gives up. Come on, Joey. 2. Make it 3. Make it 3-0.
Okay, I think.
No idea. I think I'm subscribed to him. I'm pretty sure I am subscribed to him.
Yeah.
Maybe my guess is wrong.
Well, I can see. Yeah. Well, as you could tell by the clip, he's actually a pretty well-grounded, pretty intelligent guy. So he's actually well worth subscribing to. But no one in the chat room is going to get. Is this one of those? Yeah, it sounds like Black Ram, but is this going? Is this going to be one of those times when the panel gets it and the chat doesn't get it? Go on, Messenger, give it a shot. Who is it, bro?
Is it gospel authentic?
No, it's not. Go on, Joe. Who's it?
I was thinking Louis Cypher.
No one gets it. I actually remembered who this was because
Black Gnostic Speaks.
It's not Black Gnostic Speaks. Shall I tell you who it is? No more guesses.
No more guesses.
Oh, wait.
Oh, I know who it is now.
Who is it?
Messenger knows.
Go on.
I do. It's on the tip of my tongue, but
Is it I Am Bale?
No,
No.
not I Am Bale. See, the first two were easy. This one's not. You guys, I know you know this guy, but he hasn't made a video for a while. His channel's still up, but he's still active. Shall I just tell you what it is?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
It's Morpheus, the Black Neo.
Oh, it's Morpheus.
How could you not get that guy? I mean, if he's
around all the time though. He's
sounds-
made loads of comments lately.
yeah, he's active, and you guys didn't get him. You know, we have to apologize to the guy. You know, we'll give him a shout out now.
Yeah, he sounds just like Louis Cypher.
That's such a pity. Well, there you go. Let's see if you get the next one. The next one, this is a new guy. He's new to Mgtow. I hope he sticks around. He's very intelligent, ex-military, very pro-male.
Redeem ourselves now. We've embarrassed ourselves.
Yeah. I have brought him up in a couple of times in the past hangouts, but let's see if you can get him. Okay, let me play it.
Last Google Hangout was a success. Thanks to you guys. You guys were amazing. I want to give a special shout out to Mgtow Hybrid Experiments. I want to give a special shout out to Shining Light. I want to give a special shout out to Jonathan Blake and True Sherm. You guys is what made my Google Hangout a success, and I really appreciate it because I can't do it without you. To be honest, I can't. The reason that it was a success because everybody had the utmost respect for one another. And everybody participated in the Google Hangout and contributed something. They contribute their ideas and how they see the world and their knowledge. It was great. We always had something to talk about. It was just this constant flow for 8 hours. The whole 8 hours, we always had something to talk about. It was beautiful. It was amazing. And I loved it. It was great, positive energy. It was amazing.
Well, go on, Joe.
I'm totally stumped, and I know the voice, but I just can't put it.
I have an idea, but I don't want to be overconfident.
Go on then. Go on the messenger.
Anyone in the chat?
There's been a couple of guesses, but I want to hear what you two think.
I think it's is it Life How I See It?
It is Life How I See It.
Yes.
If you guys, his name, I think his name's Godwin.
Oh, you know what, Joey got that too.
Joey got that. He's just dominant. Do you know what? I think he's just cleaned up because everyone's just gone AWOL. But the fact is, our winner's a winner, and Joey's there 3-0.
Joey's the winner today. Yeah, where's Veritech Ace at today? He's usually really good at this.
I don't know. Maybe he's fallen out with you as well.
Oh, did I say something? I'm sorry, Veritech Ace.
He subscribed to me a couple of days ago. You know, he's been listening to me all this time, and he only subscribed to me 2 days ago.
What do people? We're not finished yet, are we? But I've got a quick question.
Yeah.
What do people think about people subscribing to them? Are they insulted or hurt if they expect someone to be subscribed but they're not? Because I feel bad about unsubbing people, but I only do it because the Mgtow videos coming into my stream are a distraction for other stuff I want to do.
I know exactly what you mean. It all comes from that PewDiePie, that social media type, that Facebook type of a culture that we've got. And it's quite funny because I remember watching this video of another, like one of these, like, you know, one of those typical YouTube channels, and they were all like talking about subscribing, unsubscribing, and one guy said PewDiePie wants what's that thing when you put a cloth over someone's face and you knock them out with using some anesthetic? Anyway, so
chloroform?
Yeah, PewDiePie chloroformed me, dragged me into his van, and tied me up in his basement for 6 months and kept me prisoner. And after that, I just had to unsub to him.
That's funny.
And that's where it's gone. It's like unsubbing is like the ultimate insult.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for us, that's not used to this culture. It doesn't mean anything to us.
I had to stop because I had like 340 people subbed, and it was too much. It was way too much. So I had to go down to like 20 people that I could sub to.
Most of the videos I watch are from people I'm not sub to, and it's just that simple. Most of the people I listen to, I read and I watch, I'm not sub to them, and it's exactly how you said, Messenger. It's because watching somebody's videos is different than wanting to have their feed constantly on your page all the time.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, because they're always there. You can always go to their channel and watch.
And if he's good, he'll always like Morpheus, the Black Neo. I mean, I'm not sub to him, but I jump onto his channel and see what he's doing, and also and Neo, I believe. I've never been sub to that guy, but I'll always jump in and see what that guy's doing. Most of the guys I
Look at the
listen to.
frequency of their videos. Like Neo, I believe, doesn't make videos that often, so I don't mind being sub to channels that only make a video once a month. Because you're more than likely going to miss it if you unsub. You'll forget they exist, or think they've just disappeared off the face of the earth. So.
Yeah, well, people come to YouTube for different reasons. I think some people do see it as a community. Let's face it, and they see it as like an extension of their social media. So subbing, unsubbing is a big thing. But I mean, and I take people. I think I said this ages ago, but I take people on a video by video basis. So one channel can make a great video, one channel can make an absolute stinker. I mean, Turd Flinging Monkey's excellent example.
I tell you what, I stay subscribed to channels that don't make content out of some sort of strange loyalty. Like Life After Women, he hasn't made a video for a long time, but I'll never unsub just because he woke me up. That was the first one, and that's almost like wrong to be like that in Mgtow, isn't it? But I just keep it there. I don't know why. You like to see the avatar, don't you?
I do a different thing. I go to Mgtow and then I scan for today's Mgtow, so I kind of always have my thumb on what's going on in Mgtow. And if I rely on my subs to give me that on what I have on my subscription list, I don't see what's going on in Mgtow. I just see what I want to see.
Oh, well, here's a sad question from James Xavier. He's asking Messenger when he's going to make his next video.
Oh, I don't know.
They need their Messenger fix.
Soon, I think within the next 2 weeks, I'll be able to get a video out. Possibly, no, I'm not going to say when, because I don't want to promise something.
Oh yeah, Trav, can you turn up the volume on Messenger? There is the
I think I had it turned up and it went down for some reason. Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, when you know what happens when you go back out of the room and you put your mute on, it actually goes back to the middle on the control room panel.
Oh, here's Bernie.
Hey, Harburn.
We're in trouble now.
We're doing Name That Mgtow.
We're doing movies now, are we? Have we finished Name That Mgtow?
I'm not going to bother with the rest. You guys just are not going to know it. I had one more, but there's no way you guys are going to know this guy.
Yeah, let's do one more.
All right, I'll play it, but well, we've got a fourth now. Maybe the Trump fan might know this.
Gentlemen, how long has it been?
It's been forever.
God, I mean, I've had a horrible May, but June is looking better.
Well, it's nice to see you.
Wonderful
Bernie.
to see all of you, gentlemen.
Nice to see you, Harburn.
How you doing, Bert?
What have you been up to? Have you lost your shirt in a game of poker yet? I'm convinced you're going to lose your shirt one of these days.
I haven't even been able to play much poker, man. I'm glad you reminded me. I got to go do that. I haven't played much. I've just been, it's been a busy May, and but I'll be playing some poker this summer.
Yeah. But
I actually did lose my shirt once in poker.
Well, Well,
Sooner or later, I will.
Yeah, we were playing poker in his basement, and then a fight broke out, and I instigated it, by the way. And then I had these 3 guys on me, and I'm climbing up. I'm trying to get up the stairs to get out because I was getting the heck beat out of me, and they tore my shirt off, and I had to walk to the police station with my shirt off after the poker game. But I was drunk too at that. It was the younger days.
Yeah. Well. Maybe now we've got a 4th. Maybe we'll get a few more results in this quiz. Are you ready to play, Bernie?
I'm ready. I don't know what you're doing, but I'll do it anyway.
Well, we've only got one more Mgtow to play, but I will be shocked if any, because I thought, you know what, I'll start with some easy ones. Mgtow teacher, we all know Mgtow teacher, big fans of Mgtow teacher, and I thought I'll gradually make it harder and harder. This guy, he's well, when you listen to the clip, you'll know that he's the real deal. But I'll just play it, and let's just see if you guys get it.
What if I told you that everything you've been told about being a man is a lie? See, you've been spoon-fed this lie that as a man, it's your duty to get a job, find a woman, have children, and spend the rest of your life providing for them. And that you're going to be happy, right? But that's not reality. The reality of this life is that the moment she says, I do, you've lost. As this relationship progresses, you lose respect. She'll no longer consider your opinion valid. It'll be her way or the highway. You'll lose friends. She'll attempt to control anybody and everybody that you associate with and when you associate with them, and she will expect complete compliance. You will work, you will serve, and you will die.
Well, that was really intense.
As you can see, he's a proper Mgtow guy.
Well, it's strong Mgtow. I was about to say that. He's strong. He's strong.
Yeah, he's actually got quite a few videos, a really decent channel. All of these guys I play, because I realize whenever you give someone a shout out, you're basically giving them your recommendation or your stamp of approval. So I've been very careful these days who I give a shout out to. Yeah. But yeah, no one knows. James.
He sounds familiar, but I can't remember. I couldn't think of the name.
Yeah, James is saying Element X.
Oh, Element X.
Is it Element X?
Yeah, it's not Element X. No one knows him. No one knows. No one's gonna get this one, are they? Messenger, you want to give it a shot, or shall?
No, I don't know.
I don't want to take it.
He's saying madman, but I know that's wrong. But that's what I can come up with.
It's a guy that's not very well known, but I'm sure you guys will go check him out now. He's actually his channel is called Pharaoh Osiris.
Oh, I listened to him the other day too.
Oh, so you actually do know him?
Oh, but I listened to a lot of. I listened to like the starts of a lot of videos.
Yeah. Yeah, check him out. His name's Pharaoh Osiris.
Pharaoh Osiris. We'll give a shout out to Pharaoh Osiris.
Yeah, he stole Osiris's name, didn't he? Remember Osiris?
Yeah. Where is Osiris? I love Osiris. I wish he'd come back.
He left. He didn't like the situation, did he?
He rage quit.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. What do you think about that message? I think I made a video about that, about not leaving.
I don't know what that was. I saw Osiris go through the whole cycle very quickly, making videos and dealing with every issue, and then he showed his face, and I thought, he's gone, really sort of quickly. He's doing what a lot of people do over a long space of time, and then I think he had that disagreement with someone in a hangout, and there was
John.
About being in the Masons and stuff like that, and I thought this is getting a bit too revealing now, and you could tell Osiris was uncomfortable, so I think he made an educated decision there and thought, no, this is maybe too close to I think he felt uncomfortable there. I think he felt he was exposed.
Yeah.
Well, for those guys that don't know Cyrus, I've actually put his last video on my channel. I don't know whether or not he approves of that or not, but I put it up there. I thought it was worth keeping.
Yeah, he got in the argument with John that day.
John who?
It was John. That's what his name was, John something. And John was interesting, and Cyrus was interesting, and I thought that was a great video.
Mm. Yeah. So anyway, Heartburn, did you get your gun refunded? £700 for a revolver.
I uploaded it. I uploaded the resolution. I got it. I got a new one. Yeah.
Now there you go, man.
They could shoot it in the house.
Yeah. See, what happened was I had to send it in on warranty, and they just decided it was a junker, so they kept it, and they made me wait because they were building new ones. So I got a brand new, fresh new one.
Oh, cool. Was that a red eye that you had, or which one was that? The Taurus?
No. Smith & Wesson 686 plus.
It was a Smith & Wesson.
Is that one crooked as well?
Is that what? No. Perfect. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, Messenger. I don't know if you know, but apparently Heartburn bought a crooked gun.
You could shoot people around corners.
You bend the bullet.
The bullet goes like a boomerang.
Yeah.
It comes right back.
Yeah, what caliber is that one that you got? Is it a 45?
357.
357. Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at one of the Tauruses the other day, and the with the red eye sights, and it's nice. I couldn't justify it.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't think I'd let you get away with it, did you, Heartburn? I watched your last video about the Orlando shootings.
Yes. How terrible what's going on out there. Lord have mercy.
Now listen.
This is a crazy state. Go ahead.
I don't know if you know this. The guy's name was Omar, so obviously the Muslims are going to get pinned on it because obviously one Muslim does something, all Muslims are to blame. But this
No, that's not true.
Just a second. Did you know this guy was gay?
Yes, I know. That's how he knew about that club.
That's how he knew about that club. That's how they knew him. He was actually enlisted on a few gay websites as well. So he was actually looking for some gay sex. And did you know this guy was security for G4S?
G4S, yeah.
Well, I mean, he's American. He was just an American boy.
Exactly.
Port St. Lucie I grew up around. I was hanging out in Port St. Lucie my whole life when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole area, Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie, Stewart. I'm from Stewart. That whole area, Port Palm City, that whole area down there. I'm from there. And now here he is up in Orlando doing this. I mean, this whole area I'm familiar with. He's just an irregular American kid, lost his fucking mind.
Yeah. But sadly, because he had a Muslim name, obviously it's going to bring up.
Oh my God!
There were some links to the Omar, and then the religious holiday was just on that day, and that's called Omar. So they linked it. The conspiracy theory guys automatically went to that.
I know what his problem was. His father beat him his whole life. I guarantee you that'll come out. He's been abused his whole life. That's something like that. You get abused. Something's got to happen to you to make you that way.
Made a
you don't
white
just
knight.
you're not born that way.
Yeah, they made a white knight, and he was taking that into his own hands, and wow, he had the training, he had everything for it. I think there's some interesting discussion about whether there was a second shooter now, and then who held the door shut, and all that stuff is getting really interesting.
Yeah, nasty work. I just sent Messenger a link. A member of Parliament has just been shot and killed in the UK because she didn't support the racist agenda. Do you know? I had an argument with a guy. He thinks the English Defence League are defending England. He thinks because they're called the English Defence League, that actually no. These guys are causing trouble. These guys are going around setting community against community. When I get called like a self-hating Englishman, no, I actually love Britain. I actually don't want Britons to die. I don't want Britons to go overseas and to kill and to get killed. And I don't want that. I don't want our community to be shattered. I was just chatting to Messenger about this. and I don't want our MPs to be killed. You know, this is not what I want. I want our countries to do well. I want upright, vibrant communities of you know, well-adjusted men.
Yeah, so let me ask Shining and Messenger, are you I'm assuming the two of you are Remainers.
Oh, go on, Messenger. I'll let you answer this one.
I'm assuming I don't know. I don't know what the personality type of Brexit would be. So I'm assuming you two are Remainers.
Go on, Messenger.
I'll be honest. I really don't care. And
I knew you'd say that. I knew it.
Wow.
The reason being, I've seen our economy go up and down and all over the place, and I've worked as a manual construction worker through 3 recessions, and I've had to leave the country and go and work in Germany, you know, and I'll go where the money is. So I don't rely on the strength of the nation for me to survive or prosper. I just hustle wherever I go. So, you know, you'd have to be able to predict the future, wouldn't you? Sort of say, to have an opinion, because nobody can really sort of say, and it's all spin, isn't it? They're trying to convince.
Okay, but what about on principle? What about this great nation, Great Britain, having a total sovereignty?
Nah,
I mean, doesn't that matter?
Nah, I don't buy into the nation thing now.
No kidding. Wow.
I might have done, because my brother served in the army for 22 years, and I was very patriotic when he went to the Falklands and Northern Ireland, and you know, he did peacekeeping in Bosnia, and he went to the Gulf War and that sort of stuff, and I was very patriotic, and I almost joined the army, but now me with this new philosophy, I think, do I want to be part of a collective? Do I want to identify as part of a nation? And no, I don't, because I can't say that nation is strong or that nation is good, because there are people within it who are shitty people who I wouldn't mix with, and I just have to take people on an individual basis now. So to be proud of myself as part of a nation, or be proud of that nation as a whole, I can't, because I know within it there are some nasty people, you know, who I wouldn't trust, who would fuck me over. So I've got my own back now, and you know, in Europe, out of Europe, I don't care. I'll do whatever it takes to feed me and my daughter, and that's it, really. Yeah. I am sort of I don't know what you call it.
Well, you're part of the nation of Mgtow.
Yeah, I'm an individualist. Because
to be fair,
I don't rely on anyone or anything, any group, you know, entirely.
Okay, Shining, your turn.
I was just going to say, to be fair, that's generally what the feeling is in Britain. I mean, in Britain, no kidding, because normally when this type of a referendum comes up, all this information, I don't know, Messenger, did you get the 2 leaflets? What, you know, they each side gets allocated a certain amount of coverage or media that they're allowed to give, and
it's like you're forced to pick a side, isn't it? And it's like yes, no, don't know, and if you tick the don't know box, you're stupid. But I think it should be yes, no, and don't care, and I would tick the don't care box. You know, have your leaflets back. I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Don't make me pick a side.
I would say 50% of the UK is exactly as Messenger said, and the other 50% are locked into the political battle. But it's hard because there's lies. I've heard bullshit from both sides. I've heard. You know, I was about to put you guys all know I'm putting memes up on my G+. So if you're not subscribed to my G+, you're gonna look at my memes. I was gonna put a meme about it, and both sides have said exactly the same as the other, and both sides have got idiots on. Both sides have got good people on board, and both sides have got idiots on board. It's just so divided. There's just no clear line.
They're all gynocentric. Both sides, all the sides are gynocentric. There is nobody that represents Mgtow or men's rights or men in general.
No, they want to swallow you up and do what's best for the group. And then if you do what's best for the group survives, and then it throws you away when it's extracted everything it can take from you. So
Yeah, because
yeah,
the group is based on needs, and women have more needs than men, and that's where the egalitarian side comes in. But that's the group. The squeaky wheel gets oiled. The group is consistent of all the people that are squeaking.
Okay, well, here's my take on it, and I think heartburn. I think if you take this away with you, I think this could apply to the American situation. Now, it's not whether we stay in Europe or leave Europe that's going to benefit Britain or harm Britain. It's what we do with it. I mean. It's not it's the same as if you vote in a president or a prime minister. It's not who you pick, but it's what they do afterwards. I mean, they'll make all the promises and they'll set out all their policies, and then they can just throw it all in the bin. It's not about that. It's about taking each individual policy and each individual law, and then saying, "Hey, listen, this law is bad," or "Do you know what? I support this law. I'm going to put my full whatever." However much that is, I'm going to put my full weight behind it. That's the issue. I think that as men, all we can do, and I think that's. I mean, the same with Trump. I mean, you guys should we vote Hillary? Should we vote Trump? Now, the fact is, if Trump gets in, he can break all his promises and do everything that Hillary was going to do, but even worse.
Hillary to say it doesn't matter who you vote for is just not right. I mean, there's a huge difference between these two people.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say it doesn't matter.
I mean, even if you're a Hillary supporter, you would say the same thing over here. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, it's not so much as who gets in; it's what you do after. It's what happens after.
Yeah.
No. Listen. So as soon as he gets in, are you just going to sit down and say, "Oh, you know what? I'll just let things roll"? No, you keep a check on them. You said, "Oh, listen, Trump, you promised this. Oh, Trump, you said you wasn't going to do this, and you've done it." This is where it really counts. If you're going to be politically active, that's the part where you can be active. Whereas choosing them is not so much as trying to address each and every policy, I think.
Yeah. The president in the United States sort of does what the Queen in England does. They make suggestions. They do that yearly thing where they come out and they make suggestions to Congress, and then Congress and the Senate, it has to go through that whole process, and that's a huge process, and the president has nothing to do with that process. All he can do is either sign it at the end or refuse to sign it at the end, and he makes the suggestions in the way it's supposed to go in his policies.
And that's all I'm saying to not only to the Brits but to the Americans. Whoever you get in, if you care about your country, keep tabs on them. Don't let them just do whatever they want.
Yeah, the best.
If they're fucking things up, call them out.
Yeah, keep up with your councilmen and your senators and your congressmen and those people, because those are the people that are actually making. If you lose track of all those people, them votes are very important. And that's who represents you to the United States. All those one little votes, and that's going to add up to how things are going to go.
And you'd be surprised. I mean, you'd be surprised what you can. I mean, the pressure you can put on your congressman or your local MP.
Right, you can go talk to them people. You can write letters to those people.
Yeah, if you genuinely care about your country, if you want to go there, that's how you do it. And even if Trump doesn't get in, he can still be quite a powerful figure in Washington.
Right.
Yeah, so
he is a little less gynocentric, and there is always that thing with he knows how bad gynocentrism. He was married to Ivana, wasn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's had 2 crazy ex-wives.
So he knows how bad it can get. Now there is the disconnect with him that he can afford to pay him to go away. That's why you pay a whore to make her go away, And he paid the whore to go away. So it's a disconnect for him. We can't pay the whore to go away. what it's like for us is having a whore that moves into your fucking house and starts eating your food and says she's not leaving, and then the government says, yeah, that's her house and you gotta leave. That's what happens to us because we can't afford to pay her to go away.
Yeah, but you know that might. Do you know we have this famous MP? I don't know if you know him, Messenger. His name's Tony Benn. You heard of Tony Benn?
Yeah, he's an old Labour MP, isn't he?
Yeah, he passed away. A great loss to British politics. He said, and it's a wonderful quote from Tony Benn. He said, for me to for me to start getting into politics, I had to leave politics. Well, what he meant was he had to step down from being an MP before he could actually start doing change, because once you're a congressman, you have to toe the line. Once you're a member of parliament, you're a Tory party or Labour party, you have to toe the Labour or Tory line. Otherwise, you can lose your job, like George Galloway did. He lost his job because he wasn't towing the line of the Iraq War, and this is the problem. You know, once you vote someone in and you think, okay, now I'll just let him ride along, and now he'll have my best interests at heart. No, it's each and every policy that they bring in, and this is where I think a lot of people get it wrong. You know, just keep on top of it. And yeah, in France they're doing it right now. They're rioting in France.
Oh,
they're saying, no, we're not having this.
They have a horrible. Their system should be a good example of what not to do for the rest of us, because they let it go way too far.
Well, listen, most people in my country are looking at France and they can't figure out all the shit that France is doing we want to do over here. Are you fucking kidding me? This is the nightmare I'm living in.
You know, France's government isn't as bad as the British government, or I would even say France actually don't have it so bad, actually, especially under the standards that a lot of the Mgtow are saying. Now, it's just that...
Are you talking about their marriage laws and things?
No, I'm talking about everything else except the marriage laws. With the marriage laws, all Western countries are fucked. But,
okay.
But with France, the French people are a lot less tolerant of government corruption. So if the government breaks a promise, they're not going to take it. Whereas in Britain, it's only when, and I think in America, it's only when people start getting killed. You know.
Right, yeah, there's a lot of social support in France. You're not going to fall through the cracks in France. In Greece too, but Greece overdid it too. You know, they're not going to let you starve to death as a man in the streets.
Yeah, I mean, the cultures are very, very different, but I think both Britain and America could have a lot more to learn from that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think, but I think what the militia did in Oregon, I think that was top dollar.
Yeah, we needed more of that. We needed a lot of groups like that, and.
I agree with that. I agree.
I wish we could have pulled together the Oregon group and who was the other 2 or 3 groups that was around at that time, and we could have all got together with Mgtow and the Truthers and the Oregon group and just said, hey, we all have a common cause here. And but they would never let that happen.
Yeah, in Britain we just write very strongly worded letters, isn't that right, messages?
Very strongly worded letters. A serious chastising we're going to give you.
Do you know I got a quote from a solicitor today to write a letter. Do you know how much he wanted to charge me to write a strongly worded legal letter?
£50 for 5 minutes work.
500 quid plus VAT plus £620 to write a letter, which would be a decent wage for a person, a decent week's wage, or some people even live on that amount for 2 weeks.
I get that a month.
20 quid.
I get that a month. No, yeah, honestly, the scumbags, aren't they? The solicitors are the English version of lawyer.
Yeah, lawyers are the scum of the earth, and that's the problem right now. The lawyers are feeding off the system, and it's not fair. They like the system where it is right now, because men are giving them money to be able to see their children.
I know it's horrible. It's like they take the unbearable and they make you think it's acceptable.
Yeah.
Well, let's look at the cliche. You know, you're going to lose half your shit. It's bandied around a lot. Even if you are lucky enough to only lose half your shit, the lawyers are around afterwards to take the other half.
The other take the other half.
You inevitably end up with nothing, one way or another.
God.
If she doesn't clean you out, then they will come and pick at the carcass until there's nothing left.
Oh God, you know what I left with out of my house? A fishing pole and a bag of clothes.
I know. I remember you saying that, and
That's all I could take. And she sold everything: tools, cars, boats, campers. Everything was disappeared. The house.
I slept in my van outside the back of the house where her and my daughter were living, and I had to sleep there until I could find a place. I didn't want to stay in hotels every night because it was a waste of money.
Oh God, yeah, it's so expensive to stay in a hotel. You know, when you don't have your checkbook on you. She has all the credit cards. She's crashing everything. You're sleeping in your. I slept in my van for almost a long time.
And guys, it really is that. I mean, people hear us talking and they don't believe us. You know, I when it happened to me, the police took my card, and took me to a hotel, and I just couldn't sleep. You can't sleep. You know, in that situation, you can't sleep. So I ended up walking the streets for 3 days. I just walked everywhere, and after 3 days, you know, I went to the police station. I said, look, all my stuff is in that house. Your guys aren't letting me get in that house. Now you are gonna have to come with me to that house and escort me so I can get my stuff. And it really is that bad, guys. You haven't done any. There's no crime has been committed. You haven't done anything wrong. There's no charges, but because she says so, you have to leave.
Right. Yeah, there's, you know, that gives them opportunity too, because when you get removed from the house, you're not. I don't have my banking stuff on me. I don't have my computer, which all my banking is on. She has full control of that for those weeks and months that you can't get back in your house. What do you think she's going to do? By the time
she's going to let a man fuck her in the bed that you used to share.
Yeah.
And he's going to bend over your couch when you finally get it back. It's going to be covered in all sorts of drippings.
And people don't believe us when we tell them this is how it is.
My stuff was destroyed by the time I finally got back in there with the police, and they shut the road off because there were 2 removals vans. I had to empty a 3-bedroom house. When I finally got in there, the removals man said, "We didn't do that," and I said, "Do what?" And a brand new leather couch was slashed, a brand new dining table, scratched, real deep scratches all across the top. And I just looked and I thought, you've left a psychopath in a house with my stuff for weeks, and now when I get it back, it's all fucked.
Yeah, and when I got back in, most of the stuff was sold already. She had a house sale already. You know, I had a $6,000 cherry table with a nice vestibule and everything, and the whole thing. That shit's all gone. My compressors, my tools, everything I need to work is gone. I'm a millwright at that point in my life. I need my tools. She sold all my tools.
It's like all these things you picked up, like all like your childhood toys and your tools and your all these things that you picked up along the way, and she's thrown them in the bin, and you're like fishing them out of the bin, and if you're unlucky, you know the trashmen have already come and they've already got rid of it.
If you have like all my degree stuff, everything that says I went to school, all my even my social security card, everything's gone. You know, I have to start a new life. I have no identity at that point. I have no way to prove I went to school.
All of my court papers from the family courts, not my daughter's mum, but my ex after that, was so jealous that I'd kept it, thought I'd still attached to my daughter's mum in some way. I just wanted to keep it so I could show my daughter one day if she wanted to know what had happened, because it was all documented over 3 years. She fucking threw the lot away.
Yeah.
You can't get replacements. And I just thought, shit, this is serious now, you know, there's stuff going missing. And my daughter even said, she goes, she threw a lot of my stuff away, and it was only, my daughter was 4 at the time, between the ages of 4 and 9 for that 5-year period. And she was upset because her belongings had been thrown away, and they were toys and little trinkets, but she said they were my memories. And that's when I thought, that's a child, you know, she's throwing a child's memories away to try and erase any memory that child had of the life before the new woman turned up. That's what I wanted to warn men about as well, you know, men with children who advocate for dating and still dabbling with women. That woman comes in, your child is a threat to her, and she will compete.
Yeah, she will.
For the man's attention, and she will try and erase the child to the point where the child, my daughter didn't speak for 4 years, and I lost, that was after the court battle, after I got all my time back. I thought, yes, I fucking did it, I got through this crazy shit. And then a new woman comes along and drives a wedge to the point where my daughter is silent, and I lost her again for another 4 years. I saw her all the time, but we didn't speak. And if they don't throw it away, they just erase things in other ways.
Right, yeah. You know what it's like, and I just thought of this. If someone would give you a Mickey and then remove your ID, everything you are, take you to a different country and throw you out in a different country and say, make a living. That's what it's like.
Yeah.
And that's not to mention those men that lose their children, never see their children again.
That's why you know, have an escape route. If you know it's coming to an end, you've got to get a place where you can store stuff. Because if you haven't got a new place straight away, you've got to take your belongings and take them out of the house before she can get to them. And have a place to move to, and have some money where she can't see it.
I don't know.
Now that's the biggest mistake I made, because I used to have bank accounts that were savings accounts, and then I got so used to being married and so used to telling her everything and everything. I told her that I had these things, and then they became part of the regular banking. You know, never let your banking intermingle with the family banking, because it becomes hers then.
Well, that's brought us down on a bit of a downer. Shall we play Name That Movie? We'll pick it back up.
Yeah, let's pick that up. But we have to do these Mgtow things, you know. We have to say how it is.
Yeah, I've not even said half the shit that happened to me, man. There were some dark times, man.
Yeah,
there were some dark times. But anyway, Bernie, I think you watch movies, don't you?
Once in a while.
What's your favorite movie?
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Or The Godfather.
Yeah. Goodfellas was on the TV the other day.
Yeah, I did like Goodfellas. When they kill that kid. When they kill that kid, and they actually didn't want Pesci to kill that kid. Joe Pesci, the actor, not the character. They didn't actually want him to kill him, but they said, "Are you going to let him get away from that?"
Yeah.
And then they all said, "Oh," and then when he actually did do it, they all didn't like him after that, and then they knocked him off.
Yeah, they beat him out in a cornfield to death. That was Sin City. I haven't seen Sin City 2 yet. Has anybody seen Sin City 2 yet?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You seen it?
Yeah, Frank Miller. He's an arsehole, Frank Miller. I don't like Frank Miller.
Joey just said my favorite movie, Miller's Crossing. Miller's Crossing is a great movie.
Oh, I've just sorry to cut you off. I've just seen the new Warcraft film.
I had an opportunity to steal that the other day, and I didn't watch it. My son didn't want to watch it. How was it?
I like it because I'm a Warcraft fan. Now, for those, probably you guys think Warcraft as a new, that World of Warcraft massive multiplayer RPG game. But I played it when it was before that, and it's like Lord of the Rings type of a thing. I mean, I liked it. Yeah. I think I watched another film I can't remember, but yeah. But I'm looking forward to this weekend's MMA anyway. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. If you guys watch MMA, he's going to fight the youngest ever entry to the UFC. He started MMA when he was 16 years old. Rory McDonald, mean guy, man. Wow.
Oh, Rory, yeah.
He hit when he fought Robbie Lawler for 25 minutes. These two were kicking the shit out of each other. I mean, proper blood was splattered all over the canvas and his face. His nose was not bent. It was like carteened. I don't know if you guys know what that means. It was like his nose was carteened, and he just keeled over because
couldn't breathe.
No, Lawler just kept on punching him in his broken nose. So imagine getting your nose broken and then broken and broke. You know, it was just like a bloody mess. And he's a young guy. You know, he's like 23 or something. Roy McDonald, really strong fight. He's gonna this weekend. He's gonna fight probably the best karate practitioner in the UFC. He's got really long arms and legs. He kicks them from halfway across the ring. He knocked out. Who did he knock out? He knocked out Johnny Hendricks. I don't know if you know who Johnny Hendricks. That guy. He's as tough as iron. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is going to fight Roy McDonald this weekend. He knocked out Johnny Hendricks. Did you watch it, Joe? When I suggested it.
I didn't watch it. I haven't been keeping up with the MMA.
Yeah, it's gotten shit ever since Conor McGregor's left.
Yeah, I have to do it on the internet now. I canceled my cable because I wasn't watching my cable, and I have to see everything on the internet, so I have to steal it because I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah, it's not stealing. Nobody loses anything. I've just got a copy of Romulus, My Father. That looks pretty good. I don't think any of you guys. I've started rewatching all the Jackie Chan movies as well.
That's cool. Yeah.
You forget how good he was. You know, his Meals on Wheels, Police Story, Armor of God, all these. He was. I still think he was better than Bruce Lee, better than Jet Li. Yeah. Denton's joined us. Welcome, Denton. Eddie Lucas there. Well, he's come just in time for Name That Movie. Unfortunately, James, you missed Name That Mgtow, and Joey cleaned up.
Joey cleaned up, Jesus. Yeah.
He wiped the floor with everyone.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do it, Shining.
Go. Okay. Well, let's play the first one. Are you guys ready? Are you ready, Heartburn? I'm expecting good results from you.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
I'm talking about the kind of city that idolizes a masked vigilante.
Gotham City is proud of an ordinary citizen standing up for what's right.
Gotham needs heroes like you, elected officials, not a man who thinks he is above the law.
Exactly. Who appointed the Batman? We did. All of us who stood by and let scum take control of our city.
But this is a democracy, Harvey.
When their enemies were at the gates, the Romans would suspend democracy and appoint one man to protect the city. It wasn't considered an honor. It was considered a public service.
Harvey, the last man that they appointed to protect the Republic was named Caesar, and he never gave up his power.
Okay, fine. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Look, whoever the Batman is, he doesn't want to do this for the rest of his life. How could he? Batman is looking for someone to take up his mantle.
Someone like you, Mr. Dent?
Maybe. If I'm up to it.
What if Harvey Dent is the Caped Crusader?
Well, guys, I think we know which film that is, but which
one is it?
Yeah, which one is it out of the? I think is it 6 or 7 that's been released now. Okay, what are the chat rooms saying? Have they got any guesses?
Okay, James Denton says it's Batman.
Yeah, of course it's
Batman with C. Bale.
We know it's Batman, but which Batman is it?
And he says The Dark Knight, yep, and then Batman Dark Knight Returns.
Okay, I actually have to check this because, like I said, I've lost all the answers. I've lost all the answers. Let me just check which one it is, and then
that's Harvey Dent. So it was the Harvey Dent.
Batman and Robin final answer. Okay, go on, Bernie. Which Batman was that?
I have no idea.
Well, that was that was straightforward. Go on then.
Absolutely no idea.
Batman Returns.
Let's just have a look. Okay, who have we got? Go on, Joe. Who were you saying?
I was thinking Batman Returns.
And it's not Batman Returns. It's not. Let's see. What other guesses we got? Batman with Sea Veil, Dark Knight, and Denton's got it. It's Batman in the Dark Knight.
It's Batman in the Dark Knight, so that goes.
I said that. I said that.
We did it. Look at that. As soon as Denton comes on, he takes over. You see, this is the Don that he is.
James Denton won.
That was Batman Dark Knight, and Bernie didn't get that. Come on, Bernie. You got to try better than that, brother.
I think I haven't seen any Batman since the original Batman.
Oh,
with Jack Nicholson.
Oh, I love those. I rewatched those last year, and Tim Burton. He did a. Everyone thought it was going to be shit because Tim Burton, he's like this crazy goth guy, but he turned like Gotham City. He did it all. You know, he really did it all his own way. And who did he get? Who played him now? Jack Nicholson played the Joker. But who played Batman? It was Michael Keaton. That's it.
What a terrible choice for Batman. I never understood that choice.
Yes, it was.
That's what everyone says. But he was brilliant. Michael Keaton as Batman.
He's a good actor.
I think he canned it.
So he pulled it off, but his physical structure was not Batman.
No, he's getting on a bit. But I mean, as an actor, he shifted from like a comedy type of a goofy guy, and he went into this inner pain, this secretive.
He did have the greatest movie ever, which is Johnny Dangerously.
No, I'm not seeing that.
You didn't see Johnny Dangerously? Oh, that's a great movie.
Shall we play the next one? I
Yeah,
think we've got 6 or 7. Okay,
Yeah.
that's okay. So Denton for 1 point.
And by the way, Batman versus Superman sucks.
Okay, let's.
I mean, that's like Battleship versus Sailboat.
Yeah.
Whitman, oh me, oh life of the questions of these recurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, oh me, oh life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists and identity, that the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. That the powerful play goes on and you may contribute a verse. What will your verse be?
There you go, guys. A film for the more thinking, the more cerebral guy.
I had 2 thoughts on that.
Come on, Denton. You know this one. Denton must know this one.
Yeah, I was thinking of Mice and Men, and then I was thinking Macbeth.
Macbeth. It's not Mice and Men. Not Macbeth.
Okay.
Come on, Joey. You can. This is your chance. Denton doesn't look like he's. Oh, Denton's got it.
Dead Poet Society.
Did you get that one, Messenger?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
You were going to say that? Yeah, I can't. Yeah, he was doing literary binding there. Yeah.
You know, without Ace here, and who else? Without King Mgtow, I don't think Denton's going to have any competition tonight, is he?
Nope, no Veritech Ace, no
no Ace.
Yeah, Joey left, so. Oh no, Joey's still in. Okay.
Yeah, Joey's not getting it.
So it's 3-2 now, Joey. You got to get on your game now.
Yeah, I think Denton's going to tear this one away. Now, guys, I don't know which films are going to. So I'll play the other one. Honestly, I'm playing along as well. I don't know which films I recorded. All right, next one, yeah. I think we sort of rushed the gun there. We didn't let everyone answer. Okay, let's
Nicolas Cage is a simp, is he? Isn't he? Yeah, he is.
Swear faith to me, and you shall have mercy. I need battle lords such as you, and I will not swear faith to a swear. Emma! You're right. I'm not yet a knight. You, Irians, will knight me. Then a knight tonight. I can't offer you mercy.
Yeah.
What's this? What's this? Keep it, Urians! In the name of God, St. Michael and St. George, I give you the right to bear arms and the power to meet justice. That duty I will solemnly obey, as knight and king. I never saw this. Rise, King Arthur. I am your humble knight, and I swear allegiance to the courage in your veins. So strong it is, its source must be infinitely dry. I doubt you no more.
Come on, that can only be one film. That can only be one film. I don't think the chat room's gonna get it. No way. I don't think Heartburn's gonna get this one. Shall I ask?
No clue.
Shall I ask Heartburn? Come on, Messenger. Save the day.
God, I don't know.
That was a huge film for its time. I think it came out in 1978. It was massive, big budget.
I wasn't even born then.
He was born. You were 20 years old back then. All right,
Is it
Joe.
a Spielberg film? Spielberg?
It's not a Spielberg film, no. Joe, do you know it?
I'm having a really rough time with this. I was gonna go with Monty Python.
It's not.
I thought that to be.
Who's where's Marcus? Marcus would be so ashamed that you said Monty Python, because that's actually it's actually a really serious film. It's supposed to be a film that documents King, as you probably heard in the little clip there, King Arthur's rise to power.
The sword
Monty Python is
stone.
It's just a piss take.
Yeah.
Somebody else said Monty Python. Joey said Goonies, Monty Python. We had Braveheart, definitely not Moses. It's not Ace Ventura.
Yeah, I like that Ace Ventura thing. That made me giggle for a little bit because there was a scene in an Ace Ventura when he was crawling out of the mud that sort of sounded like that.
Yeah, he's not Camelot, not King Arthur's court. And James Denton gets it again. It was in fact Excalibur.
Excalibur. Was he
Check
the
it
first
out,
one?
guys.
Who said Excalibur? Okay, yeah, he was the first one to say Excalibur, right?
Yeah, guys. I mean, all these people that say they're proud of their culture, and hardly anybody in that said they're proud of the English culture. They know about King Arthur and Excalibur and all the knights and what the actual word chivalry mean. None of them actually know this.
Oh,
this is English culture, guys. You
We
guys
got
are
a tie now.
Isn't he fictional? He's fictional though, isn't he?
I don't know. I don't know. But it is part of British culture, whether it's fictional or not.
Yeah.
Just
Did they have the stone with the sword? Because I watched the Brothers Grimsby lately, and they pulled the sword out. Is there actually in England they have a rock with a sword stuck in it somewhere?
No, not anymore.
Not anymore.
They might have done, but yeah, King Arthur. It's a matter of dispute how accurate that account is. But
yeah, because I'd like to give that a try.
I read something about it 2 weeks ago, but I've read so much stuff in between now and then that I've actually forgotten what it was.
God, that was a horrible little movie, wasn't it? Did you see that one, Shining, The Brothers Grimsby?
I haven't been able to push myself to watch that film.
Oh God! If you want to be disturbed, if you want to be totally disturbed, watch The Brothers Grimsby because it's shocking. The things they do in there, it is shocking.
Yeah, it's done by that Sacha Baron Cohen guy, and that guy's just sick. He's just a sick bastard. He's funny, yeah, but he's sick.
His wife is the total like feminist. They're supposed to a fat acceptance girl and everything, and it's just you just watch it. You will laugh. You will laugh so hard at certain times during that movie. But if you're easily triggered, don't watch it.
Denton has just admitted to cheating. Now, listen, guys. If you know these films, Google won't be fast enough. You know, if you know these films, type in the title. Get that point. Denton cheating. He's got.
Joey says Denton's cheating, and Denton's saying, "No, I didn't cheat."
No, so Denton's saying I am cheating.
Oh, so we got what would you call that? Trav and Friends Gate now.
The conspiracy.
The conspiracy.
I'm keeping score here. Denton's on 2, so that's good.
I thought it was Denton 3, Joey 3.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
Denton's on 2.
Denton's on 3 points. Shall I play the next one?
Yeah,
let's. Guys ready for the next one? Come on, Bern. You must at least get 1 point.
I'm trying. Here we go.
Oh, right. Okay, let's play.
On program. It's good to see you again, son. Hello, Doctor. Everything that follows is a result of what you see here.
Oh, I know this one.
What do I see here? I'm sorry. My responses are limited. You must ask the right questions. Is there a problem with the 3 laws? The 3 laws are perfect. Why would you build a robot that can function without them? The 3 laws will lead to only one logical outcome. What? What outcome? Revolution. Whose revolution? That, detective, is the right question. Program terminated.
Where is the guy? Where is Mgtow? This should have been one that he got.
Yeah, he would have got that right off the bat. Yeah, I knew that right off the bat.
Yeah, well, people look at that. It's just as I thought. You either get it or don't. Come on, Bernie. This was an American film starring your favorite actress, Will Smith. What film was this?
Was that Independence Day?
No. Very close, very close. What messages got it as in it?
Or I Am Legend? Or I Am...
No. Messenger?
No.
You didn't get it.
Men in Black?
It's not Men in Black.
God, I forget. I don't know. I don't know any other names.
Go on, Messenger.
Is it iRobot?
It is iRobot. And
iRobot.
Hairless Ape got it.
He made 2 films very similar, didn't he?
Yeah. There was iRobot, and then there was the one right around the same time. You know why I got that one?
Where he had the Alsatian. He had a dog, didn't he? And there was lots of... they weren't robots, but there was...
I Am Legend.
Yeah, I Am Legend. But that was another actor. That was...
Oh, that was Will Smith. Do you know that film had 2 endings? You could buy either version.
Yeah. I was going through a horrible period in the divorce and everything when that came out, and the kids were just retaken back from me, and I had like 4 discs in my drawer, and iRobot was one of them, and so I had that's what I watched because I had no way to get cable, I had no way to have I don't have an internet at that time, I was broke as hell, and then that's what I watched. I had like 4 discs, and I had to go start collecting like discs.
I was like that. You know,
yeah.
before I got internet, I used to buy all my discs, and I wouldn't buy them because I wanted to watch the film. I bought them because they were always on sale. So whatever was like £2-3, that's the film I watched. So that's the game I play.
You go, or if someone threw one out, or say, I'll take that because I have nothing to watch. I have no entertainment.
How shit was life back then?
Yeah, I just play the movie over and over, so I had some kind of sound going because all I had was like a disc player and a TV and a couch, and that was my life.
iRobot was a great film, I think. I think one of the better Will Smith films, I think.
Yeah. You know what I had? I had a basketball movie, and I had the one about the weather change, the sudden weather change. I can't even remember the name of it.
Yeah. Oh, speaking about Independence Day 2 is
coming out this month.
Couple of weeks, yeah.
Yeah, it's the 26th or the 29th. I looked that up. There was a fake Independence Day that came out.
Oh,
You kind
yeah,
of get
yeah.
the scene, and it
Yeah.
was one of those sci-fi independent, and they named it Independent.
Yeah,
with an
Independent.
S.
I actually watched that. It's
Did you
utter
watch
shit.
that? It was
Yeah.
shit, yeah. Because I thought it was Independence Day because I was waiting for that to come out, and then
Yeah.
I watched they spelled it just a little bit different.
Independent Day, yeah.
And
Independent.
it had a woman president and everything. It was better than I thought it was going to be for
Oh,
a
you
shit
liked
movie.
it?
But it had a woman
I
president.
thought it was so bad, honestly.
Oh God, it was horrible because I was expecting the movie and I was going to steal the movie Independence Day.
Oh my God, it was one of the because what some guys do, like they did it with the Hulk, they did it with Avengers, they did it with X-Men. It's like whenever there's they've done it in Ghostbusters as well. There's a fake Ghostbusters out, but whenever there's going to be a big film that's come out, these guys they make a really shit film and they title it very, very similar. Like they'll call in this other one Ghoulbuster, or they'll call it Independent Day, or they'll call it X-Mutant, which was one. Instead of X-Men, it was X-Mutants.
X-Mutant, yeah, something real close, like Ghostbusters.
So people will go and watch it thinking that that's actually the film that's didn't they make like a law outlawing this? Well, if they have, it hasn't worked because they're still releasing these silly films. But
yeah, they'll make the thumbnail look like exactly like something, like they'll put a lot of work into the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So when you look at it, it looks exactly like what you want to see. Yeah, the Christians do that with their movies too. When what's his name? That Christian from the United States, Cameron. He makes those Tribulation Force, and I'll still say that guy owes me $3 to this day. And,
good luck collecting that, brother.
Yeah, I'm never going to collect it unless I see him. Then I'm going to beat it out of him for making me watch that horrible Christian movie.
I'll tell you how to do it. Go around to his house and go and steal one of his garden gnomes. That'd be worth more than
Oh shit! Yeah, I can do that. Was that
that's
Kirk
it.
Cameron? Yeah, Kirk Cameron is the biggest offender of making like thumbnails that look like regular movies, and then you click on it, and all of a sudden you notice it's a fucking Christian movie.
Yeah. Well, Joe, you need a bit more spirituality, I think. I don't think we get enough spirituality around here. Okay, shall we play the next one? Come on, Byrne.
I'm going to try.
All right. Come on, Messenger. You're letting the UK side down now.
Just giving everyone else a chance. Come on.
Yeah, all right, I see that. Okay, let's play the second one.
Oh my God. I'm home. All the time. Finally, really did it. You maniac! You blew it up! Oh, damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Classic there, guys. Very, very famous film. And in fact, they're doing a lot of, I guess equals really, but Mgtow teacher saying Silent Green. It's the correct actor. It is Charlton Heston. But, okay, so we're having a few more guesses. Okay.
Did the hairless ape get that one?
All right, listen, Heartburn. You have to get this one. This is ingrained in American culture. Charlton Heston is the American hero. Come on, Heartburn.
I feel so bad. I feel so bad right now. I have no clue. I don't watch a lot of movies.
Oh shit! Well, that's. I mean, if Messenger, the Brit, gets this over Heartburn,
there's only three movies. There's only 3 movies that he did.
Guess, and I don't even know if Charlton Heston was in it. It's a total guess.
All right. Well, come on, Messenger.
I would say, was he in Ben-Hur?
He was in Ben-Hur, but that film wasn't Ben-Hur. Oh, come on, Joe. Without looking at the chat, who is
Got
it?
2 guesses.
Oh yeah, go on, 2 guesses certainly.
Oh, let me have a think. It's on the tip of my tongue. Let Joe have a go.
Yeah, go on, Joe.
Oh, I don't want to spoil it because I kind of know it.
Yeah, Joe knows it. It is. If you're a film buff, you need to know this film. It is one of the most iconic films, apart from Star Wars. Star Wars.
Is it biblical?
It's not biblical.
No,
You
it's
couldn't
not
say it's
biblical.
biblical. No. You couldn't
No,
say it's biblical.
I'm out. I give
Yeah,
up.
because he did do Moses, and he did do Soylent Green, and he did. And then
Soylent Green, by the way, wonderful. I only saw that like 5 years ago. I know it's like 100 years old, but it's a brilliant social commentary. I love films that have meanings and reflect possible society. You know, something you can go away with. But yeah, Soylent Green. I actually only I found out about Soylent Green because I was playing a game called Command and Conquer, and I was having trouble playing this game called Command and Conquer, and I looked up a cheat, and on the cheat you type in Soylent Green and you get infinite gold, and from that I went to find the film Soylent Green, and well, that's the funniest. That's how I actually find it.
yeah,
Come on, Hartburn.
classic 70s film.
Are you not even going to try and guess what film that was? He says, "Damn you all to hell! My God, you finally did it! Damn you all to hell!"
10 Commandments? The 10. No, I don't know. That's when he was Moses. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Hell gets it again.
Got it, yeah. Planet
He gets
of
it
the
again.
Apes.
Well, he should get it.
Planet of the Apes?
It was Planet of the Apes. Yeah,
That's when he walks up on the Statue of Liberty, isn't it?
That's when. Yeah, that's right at the end. That's the last final few minutes when he realizes that actually the Planet of the Apes is Earth in the future, and actually the humans have dropped the atomic bomb on each other and wiped everybody out, and now apes have.
You know what we got now, guys? We got a 3-3-3 tie.
Have we? No, I think it's 3-3-2.
Hairless Ape got the last one too, and then he got the one before that, and then he got this one.
No, he got iRobot, and he got Planet of the Apes, and that's it. James Denton got Excalibur. The one before that was Excalibur.
James, okay, so it's a 3-3.
3-3-2 with a
3-3-2. Okay.
There's only 2 left. Heartburn, you have to get one of these 2, brother.
I'm gonna try.
Okay, that's all we can ask for. Okay, let's play the last but one. I'm hoping Messenger will get one as well, so you know I can I can start promoting, because you know anyone that's any British Mgtow channel, I give them the thumbs up. But if we can't get our movies, I'm gonna have to hide away for a bit with that one.
Hey, Messenger, you ever gonna do a film review?
Yeah, possibly.
For a video?
Well, it's so thinly veiled, you won't know. But the thumbnail gives you a clue.
Okay. Okay.
Look at the video about celibacy.
Okay.
And then you'll relate that to a film, because I watched the film before I made it, and I made those connections.
Okay.
I won't say anymore.
I think I have yet to do a film review, and
Stings like a bitch, don't it?
Yes, it does.
You got brass, man. I'll give you that. You want my game? You couldn't deal with my game, Jack. You're outmanned.
Let's find out. I'm asking you. I ain't got a leg to stand on, but I'm asking you.
Shut it!
Don't do that, kid.
I call the shots. I do what I want to do.
Don't do it. I don't have that many games left in me.
God, you used us. You used me.
Yes, I did. But you're in Atlantic City now with the big boys. You're not back there in the stockroom playing around with baby dolls. Think about it. It's a wash. About all that other stuff, I don't take much pride in that. It's even, but it ain't settled. Let's settle it.
Why should I?
How long do you want me to fry? Huh? 5 years, 10 years? Want to play kick the dog for the rest of your life? Come on. Let's clean it up.
Well, guys, I know that film actually. It's one of my favourite films. And anyone that knows my favourite films, it's my definitely in my top 5. If you
Color
haven't
of Money?
Colour of Money. Anybody else want to give it a guess? Is Heartburn right? Anyone else? Messenger?
No, I don't know.
It's Newman and Tom Cruise, right?
It's going to be that time, isn't it? Yeah, the panel knows it. No one in the chat room gets it. It is The Colour of Money.
Hey!
Well done, Heartburn. Yeah.
One good dry fire with the Glock. There we go.
You know, if you haven't seen that film, guys, just watch it. Wonderful, wonderful film.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Yeah. And then there was the, isn't that taking up some Jackie Gleason version of that movie?
Yes, it was. I can't remember the name of that.
Yes, you got to watch the original Shining if you don't know what I'm talking about.
I have seen the original.
Okay, you do
it's
know. Yes.
It's called The Hustler.
The Hustler, yeah.
That's exactly right. That's
I see, you're talking to a proper film buff, aren't you? But yeah, The Colour of Money is much better. It's about a man who's retired. He's basically a pool player, a hustler. Basically, hustling pool is when you pretend you're shit, and then you trump up the stakes, and then when the big money comes in, then you play your proper game, you clean up, or you play your best game, you show everyone that you're excellent, and then your sidekick puts on a big bet, and then you purposely lose the game. That's the hustle. He teaches this kid this. Tom Cruise teaches Tom Cruise this. Tom Cruise is not happy because somewhere along the line he gets ditched by Paul Newman, who's I personally think this was his best performance, Colour of Money, but a brilliant film, brilliant script. Well, I think Martin Scorsese. I think it's a Martin Scorsese film, but one of the, it's a nice, cool, relaxing film. There's no like big dramatic car chases or anything like that, but it's just a well-written film.
Yeah.
Check it out, guys. But yeah, Heartburn gets one.
Yes.
Messenger, are you going to let Heartburn beat you on? Name that movie. There's one left, brother. Try and get this one.
I'm going to try.
That's all we can ask. Okay, I don't know what film this is, by the way, so I'll be playing along with them. But yeah, Colour of Money, wonderful film. Let's play the last one.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Okay, come on, Messenger. What's that one? That one's easy. He's not going to get it.
It's the one where he's got the glasses on. Oh.
And you can't name it, can you?
No, I can't. And they say we've got one that can see. Oh.
Go on, Heartburn. Finish Messenger off.
Absolutely no clue.
Come on, really? You don't know what film that is?
I have no clue.
Oh man, it's quite big amongst the Mgtow. It's quite a big film. I can't believe they haven't got it. Messenger and Heartburn couldn't get it. Oh wow, I was certain now. I thought I'd finish with an easy one. Everyone.
We need to hand in our Mgtow cards.
You should, I think. I think you've been demoted to acolytes. Mgtow acolytes.
Oh, we are not Mgtow anymore.
Yeah. Oh, nearly everyone in the chat room got it.
Yeah, guys. They did. Yeah.
Yeah. Apart from Hedy Lucal, who thinks it's Snatch, which is, by the way, a brilliant film as well.
Yes, it was.
Go on, Joe. What film was that? Let's put Heartburn and Messenger out of their misery.
Yeah, They Live.
It was They Live.
I was gonna say. I was
never even heard of it.
Oh, Mgtow, talk about it. I think it's. I put it as one of my intros to my channel.
Oh, so Hairless Ape got that one too. So we do have a 3-3 tie. 3-3.
Okay. Was he the first one to call it? Yeah, there you go. 3-3 at Denton.
3-3 for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's no losers in this one. Everyone's a winner.
Everybody's a winner today.
Cash and prizes. You'll get some welfare checks and a social house.
You get some positive affirmative action as you'll be warned.
Yeah.
Yeah, well done, guys. Yeah, Joey said it was Rowdy Piper who was actually the actor, not the film.
They're calling for a tiebreaker now.
Yeah, that's it. That's all of them. That's all I prepared, guys.
We can do like a question. Just look up a question real quick on the.
Well, go for it. Messenger Heartburn, have you got a Mgtow related question you want to put to the chat room?
Not me.
Come on. Messenger save the day. A general knowledge tiebreaker Joey's asking for. I think Denton's vanished, hasn't he? I think he's been. His wife has called him away.
How about if we just read a popular movie review, and then see if they get it?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Messenger must have a general knowledge question. Give them a general knowledge question.
A Mgtow related one?
Any? Or just a question that men should know.
I've got quite an easy one, and this will sort out any disputes.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay, chat room, are you listening? Here's the tiebreaker question between Joey, Denton, and the ape. Well, I guess anyone could jump in.
Is it going to be like whoever gets in there quickest?
Yeah, whoever gets in there quickest will announce them Mgtow King for the week.
Okay.
Which Mgtow channel made a video called The Isolated Male?
Ah, that one's easy, man.
Oh, that's easy.
Come on, yeah, but someone's got.
All right, come on then. We're waiting for the answers. Okay, well, go on, Joey. If it's easy, shoot.
Come on.
Who was it? Silence from the chat room. Look at these guys. Joey's got it. Well done.
Yeah, Joey got it. Joey breaks the tie with a 4. He started off like a ball of fire.
He deserves to win. I think Joey. I think Joey. He's been working himself up.
Yeah, he got all the Mgtows.
Yeah. Now he's got. He's reached the level of enlightenment. Mgtow enlightenment awarded to Joey. Well done, Joey. Play the cheers, Joe.
Oh, let me get to that.
he's gonna press the buttons.
Yeah.
This is a well-oiled machine.
This is a well-oiled machine.
You can see we're organised here. Every week it's the same. Joey says, "Oh, just let me just keep."
It wouldn't click. I kept clicking and it wouldn't work.
It takes time to load. Yeah.
Joe's on his game today.
Yeah. That was, of course, Betson's isolated male. Okay, well, thanks to everyone for taking part, and I think that's me done. 1 a.m. here. I'm going to check out, guys.
Yeah, it's 1 a.m. It's 1 a.m. there, and thanks a lot for everybody's showing up. This is a great Thursday show there. Throw down, and that's what it's all about, just having fun as a Mgtow, and being a Mgtow is just a beautiful thing. And if you play your cards right and you get to that point in life where you get the black pill, and the black pill is important. Move along, and we start living the life. We start identifying things. We start seeing things for the way they are, and that's the end game, because that gives you what you need in life to succeed and be happy and be a man. And with that, you guys got any closing comments?
I would like to say it was great talking to you guys. I've been away for a while, but I have always appreciated the Mgtow community, and I will be one forever.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Unless I meet a unicorn, which of course is never going to happen. If I meet a unicorn, I'll take a picture of her and sell her to a Smithsonian instead of marrying her.
Yeah, you can make a sculpture of that and put it in the Smithsonian, because that's what the learning corner would look like.
Yeah.
How about you, Messenger? You got to close with anything?
No, no, it's always a pleasure. I prefer these ones where we just hang out and you know, act like a group of lads, like friends, you know, and just
Yeah.
have fun.
Yeah, yeah. It's all about masculinity, and it's all about just being men. The things we're denied with out in real world now. We can't be men. We can't do men things. We can't say men things because there's going to be some little girl that's offended, or some social justice warrior that's offended. And that all comes at a cost to our souls. That comes at a cost to our independence. It comes at a cost to our, you know, what we grow to be. When you talk about the, you know, the collective unconscious of men, and it starts chipping away at us little at a time, and then it breaks us, and then we get thrown out on the scrap heap of life as broken men. But not here in Mgtow. Nah, we're all about building us up. And with that, I think I'm going to close it out. And I love each and one of my Mgtow brothers. Strive to be the best Mgtow you can be. And that will improve your life, your happiness, your wealth. And you might grow a little extra hair, too. Or you might keep a little extra hair. And with that, I'm going to close this down. Loving each and every one of you guys. Thanks a lot.